they had Alec as a target, as a driver to battle against. And so Savio took the first stab at it. And
Savio was the first one to take the victory over Alec Hunnerdale, although some will say that Alec basically took himself out.
Right.
And it is a shame. I know Savio, he loves a good battle, but it's unfortunate. But I know he's going to take the win. He's not going to complain about the win. Up next, we have Brandon McDowell, another beast behind the wheel, going against the Matza Performance team member George Thomas. Both cars red. Brandon McDowell in that Injuku Racing red 350Z. And George Thomas in his red Nissan, sponsored by Monster Performance. Once again, you guys want to stay live and up to date with the bracket, go ahead and go to clutchkickers.com/100K Drift Series and keep continuing to refresh the page as the bracket will populate.
Yeah, and as you'll see, we're done with top 32.
We are officially done with top 32, and we're getting into the top 16. We are not stopping. No opening ceremony. We're just banging through this. We're going to finish this. We have beautiful weather, and we're going to take advantage of that. So both drivers are locked and loaded, lined up. Brandon McDowell is going to lead. George Thomas is going to give chase. Brandon McDowell, a monster behind the wheel, loves the oval tracks, loves to ride the bank. George Thomas is going to have his hands full for sure. And here we go, down the straight. George Thomas doing a great job staying side by side. Brandon McDowell, he's going to need to apply as much pressure on Brandon as they work their way. George Thomas way inside, straightening out almost as he makes his way through that first outer zone. Brandon full throttle, nice and tight on the inside clip. George Thomas starting to gain proximity as they flick it into the second outer zone, but there we go, Brandon riding that outer edge. Beautiful job. George Thomas right up there with him, getting into the pocket, almost tapping him as they make their way into the third and final outer zone, causing a correction. Looks like George just shutting it down. Brandon, a commanding lead run. Guys, put it together. Give a hand to Brandon McDowell on that Injuku Racing 350Z. Amazing job.
Yeah, I think the problem with George Thomas's approach is that he just applied too much angle going into the bank, and then just causing him to lose all that momentum that he needs to use to carry him throughout, and just strained out and really just made it that much more easier for Brandon to get the advantage.
Yeah. So drivers are locked and loaded, switching positions. George Thomas is going to lead. Brandon McDowell is going to give chase. Brandon McDowell is going to apply the pressure. I'm sure he knows he has the advantage going into the second half of this battle. So will he play it safe? Brandon McDowell's not known to be somebody that plays it safe, so I still expect to see a fierce chase coming from Brandon McDowell. George Thomas, he needs to run a nice lead run. Stay high on that wall, work his way past the inside clips, try to do whatever he can to try to pull away from Brandon. He wants to pull away as best he can, right, to try to force Brandon to make that mistake.
But Brandon's going to be mindful of where exactly George Thomas initiates. If he sees that he initiates midway to the bank, he may want to dial it back a bit. But if he sees if he's high on the bank, where he needs to be, you might see Brandon just go aggressive.
Yeah, you might possibly see that. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, they found Brandon, Whitnick.
Yeah, but now he's leaving. Where are you going? Oh, well, I still see Nick Ward on the track, but here we go. George Thomas out front, Brandon McDowell not too far behind, about a half a car behind. Both cars flicking into the first outer zone. George Thomas low on that bank. Brandon adapting to that line and following George Thomas's low line. Taking out that inside clip is George Thomas. Both cars cut through the infield. Brandon McDowell definitely sitting with the advantage as it worked their way through the second half of this battle. George Thomas doing a good job filling out that second outside zone. Both cars flicking into the third and final outer zone. George Thomas pretty far off those outside zone markers. Great job, though. Brandon McDowell able to maintain cool under that pressure. And as we see the replay, those of you guys that are watching on the live stream will see George Thomas kicking in, but very shallow, not deep into that outer zone as he should have been.
Yeah, it should have been much higher, taking out that inner clip. Not necessarily getting himself a 0 for that, but a major deduction. Because evidently you gotta drift around it. Don't take it down with you. Don't try to take it with you.
No.
But Brandon McDowell just where he needed to be, taking a safe approach, and he knows he has it in the bag.
Right. Definitely confident in the chase position. George, unfortunately, making those mistakes, and it does appear we do have a decision. George Thomas on the left of the screen, Brandon McDowell on the right, and it is unanimous. Will Parson, Dwayne Ramsey, and Jeremy Lowe all unanimously decide Brandon McDowell is going to advance. Brandon McDowell will advance on, and unfortunately, George Thomas had some hard-fought battles, but he'll have to call it a day. And here looks like that is, I believe that is Brandon Whitnick going to pull up against Nick Ward. Nick Ward with Taxi Garage, coming to us from South Florida.
Okay, so I'd have to say a correction, actually.
What's that?
So we're actually going to put a pause on top 16, go back to top 32 to finish this battle, which I would imagine wasn't, I mean, both drivers weren't ready. I don't know what happened, but
right, so
in any case, Brandon Whitnick going up against Nick Ward
right
to finish off top 32.
Well, finish off top 32, but and complete that top 16 bracket. We did start the top 16, but we're still finishing top 32. So we're doing top 16 and top 32 all at the same time because that's what we can do because Clutch Kickers is able to, they're just like a well-oiled machine. I mean, this is like, just non-stop drift action. All right, as you can see, Brandon Whitnick is going to lead. Nick Ward is going to chase.
Just coming from Drift Week number 5. Brandon Whitnick.
Brandon Whitnick, yeah.
Yep.
So he's able to, all that practice he got, he's going to need it as he's going to face off against Nick Ward. And both cars make down track. Nick Ward side by side with Brandon Whitnick as they make their way into the first outer zone. While Brandon Whitnick, kind of a shaky entry, and I don't know how that affected Nick Ward, but both cars making their way off the bank into the infield. Nick Ward trying to close that gap, shallowing up angle, taking out that second inside clip, flicking his car into the second outer zone. Nick Ward able to keep that proximity. Whoa, Brandon Whitnick really slowing down coming into that third and final outer zone. Filling out that third and final outer zone pretty well, but Nick Ward right there with him, not being shaky. Oh, I don't know if that was a little tap at the end or what, but Nick Ward definitely not afraid to apply that pressure from the chase position. Now let's watch that replay. Let's see how that, I'm curious on how that lead initiation was.
Right, I think Nick was expecting him to go much higher on the bank and just didn't, so he struggled to try to mitigate that.
Man, that's a hard one to see. It almost seems like, like Whitnick threw it in, but didn't throw it in hard, so he didn't go to angle as quickly as maybe Nick Ward had thought.
Right. But I'm curious to see on the final turn, on the exit, I mean, I don't know. But
that was after the judging markers. The judging ends after the last cone coming out of the third and final outer zone. But now the drivers are switching positions. Nick Ward is going to lead. Brandon Whitnick is going to give chase. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes one more time because Brandon Whitnick's on there. Brandon Whitnick trying to stay right there with Nick Ward as they make their way through the first outer zone. Nick Ward doing a good job trying to get high on the bank. Brandon right there with them as they come into the infield. Nick pretty far off that first inside clip. Nice angle coming through the infield. Both cars flicking in. Brandon trying to dive in for the attack as they make their way through the second outer zone. Nick doing a great job. Nice and wide. Pouring on the smoke. Now here we go. A lot of angle. Oh my gosh.
Of angle.
Whoa. Look at the angle Nick Ward threw at the car. Able to maintain control and not phasing Brandon Whitnick. He did throw a lot of angle there. Did slow down. It almost looked like he was going to spin and slam into the wall. So
how many degrees is that?
It's a whole lot of degrees. That's all I know.
Well, I do recall mentioning that he got Wise Fab.
So he's able to throw that angle, but throwing that much angle causes you to slow down. So the judges, even though it looks great on camera,
right,
it's not an ideal situation as a lead driver. I mean, throwing that extra angle saves you from spinning, but it slows you down, so it's going to be considered a correction in the judges' eyes.
And possibly unchaseable.
Possibly unchaseable, but Brandon, the experienced driver he is, chased it. So we're gonna take another look at the first run here with Nick Ward in the chase position and Brandon, and just how that was very unfortunate for Nick Ward just in the chase position, making all his mistakes. Chasing down Brandon Whitnick. So judges are going to check both runs back to back and see if they can award a winner.
While they decide on that, we have our next pair of competitors burning up their tires, lining up to the grid. On the replay, might have side-by-side action.
Yeah,
okay.
there you go, side-by-side action. Judges are really analyzing this. Interesting to see chase for chase, lead for lead. You can see the drivers. Now, definitely Nick Ward was making quite a few mistakes in the chase position. So
you could say Brandon was consistently close. You had Nick who would get close to them, but
well, let's see what happens.
Mistakes from both drivers.
Yes. There you go, Brandon Whitnick on the left, Nick Ward on the right. Let's see what the results are. Yeah, well, of course.
It's one more time.
One more time. It's Brandon Whitnick, the king of one more time.
That's right.
Brandon Whitnick has gone one more time in the Clutch Kicker Series more than any other driver, I believe. So that's going to be interesting. But here we go. We got the next set of drivers up. And I believe that's Connor O'Sullivan.
Against Josiah.
Josiah Felize, owner of FDF Fab. And both cars, Connor ripping it across the track. Connor cut through Josiah not too far behind as they make their way into the second outer zone. Connor not showing that the man has only been drifting for about a little less than 2 years out here doing battle against Josiah Felize from Canada. FDF Fab doing a great job filling out the zones. Wow, Connor O'Sullivan not showing. You would watch him as a driver and you think the man has got years and years of experience, but
Two?
I don't even think 2. I don't think he's even been drifting 2 years. He comes from a motocross background. We talked about before how having that previous competition experience, even though it's not in drifting, how you're able to take that competition experience and apply that towards your drifting career. And he does a great job, as you can see, doing a great lead run.
And Josiah just struggling in different sections of the course just to maintain that proximity, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen here when they switch sides.
All right, well, let's see here. Connor O'Sullivan's going to chase. Josiah Felize is going to lead. Josiah, FDF Fab, owner, operator, family man, as they make their way down the track. Connor O'Sullivan's going to throw it in behind Josiah. Both cars, wow, Connor almost right there with Josiah as they make their way around the bank, coming down into the infield. Wow, Connor right there with Josiah, flicking it into the second outer zone, doing a good job. Both drivers holding together. Josiah staying nice and wide. Connor right there with them within about half a car distance. Now they're flicking into third and final. Whoa, major slowdown by Josiah, but Connor not being phased whatsoever. That was an amazing chase run by Connor O'Sullivan. Man, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
That he's going to be somebody. Connor O'Sullivan's going to be somebody who everybody needs to keep their eyes on as the years progress.
Right, but I'd like to see what went down when he went into the infield, because it seemed like maybe he wasn't in the right section where he needed to be, right area where he needed to be, but he didn't really fall too far off Josiah. So I think the proximity played in Connor's favor because he did a great job of just staying right there with Josiah.
Staying, like we meant before, staying in the pocket. It looks like, is that...
That's Brandon against Nick Ward.
Yeah, it's a Brandon Nick Ward. They're replaying that. The judges are still analyzing this call. So, but as we mentioned before, that as a chase driver, you're trying to stay in the pocket. And sometimes you have to make some sacrifices. You have to sacrifice your angle. You have to sacrifice some line. And the judges do look at that, and they're going to figure out what's more important, right? Is the chase driver sacrificing too much in order to stay close, right? Is he like chopping the line? Is he taking all the cones? What exactly is he doing to stay in that pocket? And if it's worth it, then the judges will say, hey, listen, you did cut the line here, you shallowed up here, but you kept that proximity and you made an exciting battle and was able to apply pressure on the lead driver. So we'll see how that plays.
And sometimes when you sacrifice line, then you gain an angle, or sacrifice angle and you gain a line.
Exactly. So it's that balancing act that the judges not only got to judge, but the drivers are doing in real time. And just that's that experience that you typically see from well-seasoned drivers like Taylor Hull, Taylor Ray, and Chelsea Denofa. We're seeing that out of Connor O'Sullivan. That's, like I say, he's been only drifting for just under 2 years, or maybe 2 years now. He doesn't have many years of experience. So it's hats off to Connor to be able to throw down here and just show his capabilities and how serious he is in his drifting career.
Josiah from Canada, long way from home.
It is. When we talk to him, that's one thing, a struggle that he does have to face is battling, trying to find time for growing his business, FDF Fab, running the business, his drifting career, and as well as a family man. He's got 2 children, and that takes time as well. So balancing all those different factors in life, and he's still out here doing Drift Week and out here to compete, coming all the way down from Canada. And we love having him down here because it's always a great show. And then you get Connor Sully, just new to the game, but you wouldn't know it by watching him drive.
Take a look at another replay. Got Josiah lead. Trying to see exactly what are the judges looking for. See both drivers pretty high on the bank. Switching over to the outer zone number 2. I mean, Josiah could have been a little deeper into the outer zone, but he was there. But did Connor cut in too much to close that gap?
Yeah, I mean, we're already starting to fill out that top 8 bracket. Brandon McDowell has already made his way into the grade 8 there, and he's going to be facing the winner of this battle, Josiah Felize or Connor O'Sullivan. Either way, Brandon McDowell is a capable driver to be able to pull this off. He may take home a victory.
And one of the things you're going to start to see, and usually we see when we get towards the finals, is that the calls are going to be harder to determine. Judges may take more time to finalize a decision because they want to make sure that they get the right decision, make the right decision. And at times, it may be just too close to call.
Right. So in a situation like this, not only that is, as we mentioned, these drivers have not had a chance to practice. So as they going through their battles, battle after battle, they're dialing in the track. They're able to be more aggressive, and it's going to make the battles closer and closer. So the judges are going to have to analyze every inch of the track as the drivers make their way around. It's going to be less obvious. These drivers have been competing at this level in the Clutch Kicker Series, and they're very familiar with the pressure. But it looks like we do have a decision here. On the left, you see Josiah Felize, and you see on the right Connor O'Sully. And there you have it. Will Parsons, Dwayne Ramsey, and Jeremy Lowe unanimous. Connor O'Sully will advance on to the top 8. And unfortunately, Josiah, not without a valiant effort, but unfortunately, Josiah is going to have to call it a day. And Connor making his way into the top 8. Congratulations, hats off to his team and his family that helped support him and develop his program. And it looks next that we have the battle between Rafael Adamus. No?
I see Brandon Whitnick pulling up.
I do, but I don't. Oh, there's Nick Ward there. Okay, you're right. All right, so this is the one more time battle, I believe, of Brandon Whitnick and Nick Ward. Brandon Whitnick is going to lead. Nick Ward is going to give chase. And this is the one more time battle between Brandon Whitnick and Nick Ward.
Interesting how Brandon didn't bother to burn up his tires.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's run low tires, or maybe he's confident that he's good to go. But Brandon Whitnick, just like I mentioned before, I've just seen one more times with him behind the wheel against certain opponents. Taylor Ray, I believe they were going back to back last season of Clutch Kickers. But here we are, Season 3, Round 1 of Clutch Kickers, $100,000 Drift Series. Nick Ward throwing it right into the side almost of Brandon Whitnick. Brandon Whitnick coming down off that bank, almost right in front of Nick Ward. It was kind of interesting there how that was going to play out, but Brandon Whitnick staying in it. Nick Ward getting back in it as they make their way through the second outer zone. Brandon Whitnick doing a good job of filling out that second outer zone. As both cars come in, they flick it into the third and final outer zone. Oh, Brandon Whitnick tapping the wall, almost losing the bumper. Nick Ward right there with them. Both cars make it up the track. All right, give it up for those drivers. I mean, that was interesting. Though I want to see how this is on the replay on how Brandon Whitnick. It looks like he almost came down off that bank kind of early.
Right, and the judges are going to have to determine if he caused Nick Ward. I mean, if he met, like, if it was unchaseable.
Right.
Right, because he should have been higher on the bank. Brandon should have been higher on the bank. But at the same time, Nick Ward could have done a better job of sort of mitigating that, maybe letting off a little bit, giving himself some space, and could have handled it a lot better.
Right, so it's going to have to come down to, was it an unchaseable run, or was it something that Nick Ward should have been able to adapt and overcome?
Right.
Well, those are some of the thoughts that I'm sure the judges are thinking about, and we're going to get into the second half of this one more time battle between Brandon Whitnick and Nick Ward with Taxi Garage. There you see on the back, www.taxi-garage.com. You want to have some fun, maybe you don't want to buy a drift car, get one of their crazy cars. I mean, they are ridiculously fast. I mean, it's a great time. You're going to be laughing nonstop. But anyways, here we go. Nick Ward out front, Brandon Whitnick giving chase. Both cars flicking in. Nick Ward trying to get high on the bank. Brandon pretty low on that bank as they make their way around. Nick doing a great job filling out that first outer zone. Coming inside nice and tight on that inside clip. Both cars working their way through the infield and flicking it into the second outer zone. Brandon trying to dive in, apply that pressure as they make their way through that second outer zone. Now both cars are flicking into the third and final outer zone. Nick doing a great job. Wow, Nick doing a great job getting inches from the wall as they make their way. Give it up for these drivers. They did an amazing job, guys. Give it up. Let them hear you.
I think that's what Nick was trying to do in the previous run.
I see.
But instead of him getting all that angle and trying to work around it, I think Nick was able to find the point where he needed transition to make it happen.
Right. So both drivers having issues in the chase position on that first outer zone. But Nick doing an excellent job. Look at him filling out the complete second outer zone. Textbook, just like the judges are asking for, flicking into the third. And look, he gets inches right.
Oh!
Ooh, right there. Oh.
We got a geyser over here.
Oh, it does look like we got some mist or something coming out of the front of Brandon Whitnick's car. He's got no fans. I'm his fan. We're both his fans. He's got a lot of fans. Oh, you mean radiator fans?
Okay.
Radiator fans. I was going to say, Brandon Whitnick has a lot of fans.
I thought he was purging the NOS.
Oh, purging the NOS? Oh, after? No, unfortunately. Apparently he's running without fans. You got to get a chance to check him out on YouTube. I'm searching him up on YouTube, but he's got some great videos. I mean, the man is always working on that car, and he's just a monster behind the wheel and always down to throw down. Here we go as we watch the replay. Yeah, Nick but then, interesting. It's really something the judges are going to have to analyze and pick that apart.
Right.
Because Nick definitely had some major corrections. I guess really what's going to come down to, were the corrections that Nick Ward made caused by Brandon in the lead position?
And I think the judges are going to want to zero in and see. Here we go. Zooming in on that area because that may decide this battle.
Yep. Those of you that are here live, I mean, you can tune into the live stream. Of course, you'd have to go on to baldeagle.com and check that out. But we are watching the play-by-play. We're basically watching the same play-by-play that the replay that the judges are watching. They're really trying to analyze Brandon Whitnick's lead run and whether or not it may have caused the corrections from Nick Ward in the chase position. So that's what's going on right now. I know you guys watching live can't see this, but you can follow the live bracket. The live bracket is on clutchkickers.com/100K Drift Series, and you'll see that we are starting to fill out our top 8 bracket. But, yeah, as I mentioned, the judges are really analyzing, looking at different camera angles to really pick apart this run to see if they can decide a winner. Because this is still part of the top 16 battles.
That's right.
So
no, top 32.
Top 32. I'm sorry.
Top 32.
This is the last battle that we're trying to get through of the top 32.
Oh, we're getting another angle here. So we might get a better perspective of what exactly transpired on the bank.
Yeah, so we're looking for the wheels to see how much correction's going on. And it looks like, I don't know, almost straight right there, doesn't it?
I don't know. All I can say is the judges have to determine.
Yeah, but you can see, look how it seems almost as if Brandon Whitnick is coming down off the bank way early. So the judges want them to fill out that first outer zone almost completely around the track. And they're not supposed to come off the bank until the very end. That last cone right there, this last cone that Brandon Whitnick took, he should have been way higher on the bank there. But that goes back to, was it unchaseable? Was it an unchaseable run? Did it put Nick Ward in an awkward position, or should Nick Ward have been able to adapt to the line of Brandon Whitnick? Either way, Brandon Whitnick's car is screaming for some coolness. Just overheating.
We're going to take a look to see on a decision. And Brandon Whitnick.
Wow, Brandon Whitnick takes the win. Brandon Whitnick is taking the win. As you can see, he gets out of his car and just wants to let Nick Ward that, hey, that was a great battle. Unfortunately, Nick Ward's going to have to pack it in for today, and Brandon Whitnick's going to take the win. And he's flooring it without any fans. Oh, no, somebody else. All right. Brandon Whitnick needs to get water in that radiator and cool that engine down so he can get ready for the next battle, because, like we said, there's a good chance he's going to have to go one more times, I should say.
So coming up now, we have Rafael Adamus in his BMW E46 going up against Adam LZ in his BMW E36.
BMW versus BMW. Rafael is going to lead, and Adam's going to give chase.
Different setups, different vehicles.
Yep, different
generations.
Different setups. All right, Rafael Adamus is going to lead. Adam LZ going to give chase. All right, looks like we're just about ready to send this next set of cars. Once again, Rafael is going to lead. Adam LZ is going to give chase. Adam LZ is going to, hopefully he has a good spotter, has been able to inform him. One of the key components of a driver's program is a good spotter. That spotter, his job is to inform you as a driver of what you're to expect of your competition. So here we go. Rafael is leading. Oh,
Restart.
Restart light. Okay, got a restart light.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, both drivers paying attention. Good job. Don't want to make the mistake and unnecessarily burn through tires if you don't have to. But as I was mentioning, that spotter's job is to not just watch you and your performance as a driver, but also analyze all the other drivers, all your competitors. So that way, as a driver, you can have that additional info and know what to expect from your competitor. And if you have a good spotter, it can make a world of difference. So that's definitely a key component in developing a program as a driver. And here we go, Rafael and Adam out the gate, and they're working their way down the track. And both cars getting ready to flick it into that first outer zone. Adam LZ almost right there with them. He's going to try to close that gap as they make their way across and through that first outer zone. Adam way offline, very uncharacteristic of Adam from the chase position. But getting back into pocket is Adam LZ as Rafael Adamus makes his way through that second outer zone. Now both cars getting ready to flick it into the third and final outer zone. Will Rafael make a mistake? No, but Adam LZ taking the correct line. Rafael really shallow, but it goes back to what we say before. Like, even though Rafael did run the correct line through that third final outer zone, Adam LZ is to follow that line.
Right, and two very evident mistakes from both drivers on two different parts of the track.
What would that be?
Well, Adam LZ just way offline here, and then Rafael Adamus on outer zone number 3, just going in way too on the inside instead of going on the outside where he needed to go.
Yeah, so as Ben was mentioning, Rafael doing a good job the first half of the course. Adam LZ, unfortunately, from the chase position, really shallowing that inside, that chase line and taking out that first inside clip. But then again, like you said, Rafael way offline through the third outer zone. So here we go. Adam LZ leading. Raphael giving chase. Adam LZ flicking into the wall. Full throttle as both drivers make their way around that first outer zone. Raphael trying to close that gap. What's going on? Oh my goodness. There was a slight correction causing Adam LZ to cut a little wider than it looked like he was planning on. I saw the smoke drop off. Raphael actually doing a really good job from the lead, or I'm sorry, chase position, but they're straightening out. I don't know what's going on here, folks. Raphael's having some issues with his car. Oh, that was an interesting change of events towards the end. I really thought Raphael was going to stay in the pocket, but was unable to. But what happened to Adam LZ? I mean, he didn't lose drift. Let's go ahead. We're watching a replay as Adam LZ works his way through that first outer zone.
Yeah, Adam could have been higher, but just maybe, I mean, who knows? He almost made contact with the wall towards the exit of the bank. But everywhere else, he was doing a great job. But then all of a sudden, the tables have turned, and Raphael then started having issues of his own.
Wow. So now we're going to have to go and see what's going on. As the judges replaying this, we got a camera. You see Raphael. I mean, he looks pretty happy. He's got his helmet off.
Hey, they can hear you on the stream. What happened?
Well, my friend, no speak English.
He's like, what's going on?
Soy dominicano, vengo de República Dominicana. Klutch kicker. Esto está de puta. Gracias, mi hermano.
Basically, he said he's excited to be here.
That's what I heard too. I heard the same thing. Yeah,
Yes,
Raphael
yes.
said he's definitely excited to be here to battle against Adam LZ, regardless of the outcome. In that he's just thankful for Klutch Kickers providing this, and of course Cletus, McFarland, and Freedom Factor. But here we go. Looks like we have one more time.
One more time.
Is that correct? One more time. We have a one more time battle between Adam LZ and Raphael Adamus. But it looks like Raphael is having to be pulled off the track, so we'll see how that is going to play out. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but he needs to get that car together, and I believe he's calling a 5-minute timeout.
Well, I don't think he necessarily has to, because the other battles have to go through.
That's true.
And then when his time to go, he'll then need to call a 5-minute if his car isn't fixed by then.
Yeah, well, he's definitely have to do something. He's going to have to do something fast because the car is not making it off the track underneath its own power. So Adam LZ still on the track. He's going to have to pull out in a minute and go change tires. But next up, this is going to be a great battle right here. Jonathan Naren is going up against Sebastian Gutierrez. Sebastian, I believe, another native to Canada, coming all the way down here to sunny South Florida. Well, sunny right now. And of course, Jonathan Naren, a man that has taken out many fierce competitors in the past. Very aggressive driver, and has been just battle after battle working his way through the grid.
I think we missed him last year, right?
I think we did. I don't remember seeing him so much. But I want to go ahead and take a few minutes here while we got some time here to thank our sponsors. We want to thank BC Racing for coming out and supporting the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. Also Nitrous Outlet, Grip Royal, ECU Masters USA, Champion Race Oil, Haltech, Drift HQ, which is also another returning sponsor, Tire Streets, Ignite Racing Fuel, Kensei Wheels, Fuel Lab, Doucheworks, Radium Engineering. And also want you guys, if you didn't know, now you know, we got some vendors out here selling some merchandise. We have Klutch Kickers selling their merchandise downstairs. We have BC Racing, LZ, MFG, ECU Masters, Champion Race Oil, Nitrous Outlet, Yankee Special with some great designs and some of his different patterns and livery on the shirts, I guess you could say. And Kensei Wheels, Grip Royal, Haltech, and I don't want to forget Bridge Moto. Bridge Moto has their overalls and jackets. They have some clothing. They also have a lot of safety gear. I have a pair of their gloves, and I love their gloves. Their racing gloves are awesome. But
Oh, careful.
wow, yeah,
He's scraping that wall already.
He's scraping the wall already. He definitely knows his car well. And if you guys are just joining us, this is round 1 of Season 3 of the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series, coming to you from the beautiful Freedom Factory, home of Cletus McFarland. Cletus and his crew doing a tremendous job keeping the track clean and consistent for the drivers, and they've had their work cut out for them because they were going through all kinds of puddles and stuff yesterday trying to get this track clean.
Right. It would rain, they would clean it up, dry it, then rain again, and it was just nonstop. Just threw us back over to round 2 of last year, where we had to deal with the tornado and It was just
So as
very
clutch
hectic
yeah.
experience.
As clutch kickers, we've had to weather the storms, literally. Tornadoes, lightning, hurricanes, holding down the tent. We almost flew away that one time holding down the tent. So, bad weather we're no strangers to bad weather, that's for sure. And we did have to face a little bit this weekend, and that's why we're banging out these battles back to back. But here we go. We got Naren going to lead, and Sebastian going to give chase. Wow, Naren putting a gap on Sebastian as they make their way. Sebastian's got to close that gap, as Jonathan is doing a great job of getting right on that inside. Whoa, no! Oh, my goodness, there was a collision right on the track coming into the infield. We're going to have to get the crew out there to make sure those drivers are okay. Jonathan Naren coming off the bank way too hot, spinning out right in front of Sebastian. And unfortunately, Sebastian just not having anywhere to go, collides right into the side of Jonathan Naren. Oh my goodness! We want to make sure those drivers are okay, and make sure that everything's okay. They're gonna have to assess those cars, make sure there's no fluid leaking on the track. We have and this is a testament to look how fast Cletus' crew gets down there, and I believe that's Cletus down there himself in that brown hat. I mean, he's just so involved in every aspect of the form, whether he's driving, making sure the drivers are safe. But, wow, we can watch the replay here. You can see Jonathan Naren coming off the bank, and he's going to flick it in.
Look at that squat.
Yeah, squat and flicks it in.
Looks like he debeated a tire.
It does. So when he went to go, he had no traction whatsoever. And look at the angle on the tires. I mean, he really tried to keep it sideways. Unfortunately, Sebastian had nowhere to go. Wow. Well, hopefully both drivers are okay. Sebastian's going to have to take a look at his car. I know that it's unfortunate that if, in fact, Naren's tire did debead, it did cause the collision. So Sebastian will have additional time to repair his car if he needs it. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, there goes Sebastian, and nowhere to go. Jonathan Naren started rolling back, and then just...
Yeah, as you can see, just Sebastian had nowhere to go.
Yeah, unfortunate set of circumstances.
And as we mentioned before, this center section of track, this concrete pad, doesn't have the traction. You don't have the ability to stop as quickly in this center area of the track. So not only was it that Sebastian had to try to avoid a collision, but he had to try to avoid it in a collision that was where he had the least traction.
Right, and on top of that, no tire.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, it does look like Naren debeated a tire. Did he debeat a tire right there?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Yeah, you see the tire right off the rim. You can see actually the puff of smoke as it comes when you watch that replay. I'll show you right about here. He's coming off the bank, and that tire just right about here on.
Wait.
Poof! A little bit.
There you go,
a little bit of air comes out that tire. Just these, like I said, I mentioned before, these guys are running such low PSI that they're not allowed to run bead locks, so they can't run bead locks or any type of any type of.
There goes that tire.
Yeah, look at that. Wow, what a shame. So, I'm trying to get some clarification on exactly what's going on.
Yeah, he's behind me.
Got all the crew members there assessing the situation.
Yeah, they're looking at the car, trying to get the car off the track. It looks like they may have to pull. Yeah, here comes a tow truck. Does seem that both drivers are okay. Doesn't seem like anybody was hurt. But unfortunately, Jonathan is not going to be able to drive his car off the track. And here comes the tow truck.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been Sebastian coming out of the bank faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or imagine if it was under the rain.
Right, if the track was a little wet, it could have been a lot worse. That's for sure. But it's all part of drifting, especially competitive drifting. You know something's going to happen. We're always going to see some bumps and some bruises as the drivers push themselves and push their machines to the utmost limits, something's going to break, unfortunately. So there's so many key components that go into these drift machines that any one component should fail, it just could mean the end of your run, end of your day in the competition.
Right, and it's not like how originally we had it scheduled
Tire change. Our
go.
tires going into the battle prior to this, we started showing some cords on the inside
Like
from left foot
Jonathan's,
braking. So we put a different tire brand on here that we had. Here's our spares, and the grip wasn't there like the other ones, and it didn't react how I wanted to when I came off the bank, and this front was not where I wanted. So when we transitioned, it was pushing in and over rotated. It was, there's a couple things going on there, but yeah, the biggest cause I guess was our front tire change. We couldn't get it moved up enough in the burnout box compared to the tires that came off of it. They gripped up and got sticky a lot faster. So it's what it is. We'll get it back to the fence, get back together. Not necessarily for today's event, but we'll be back for next round, get it all buttoned up and good to go. Sorry, Sebastian. Me and Sebastian, we drove together in FD Canada, so we've actually had some driving time together. It's pretty cool to see him again. Unfortunately, it didn't end up how we wanted to. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys.
So there you have it, little insight of what happened. Good thing he's okay, and the car can be rebuilt. It's not a problem. This is all part of drifting, right? I mean, like I said, these drivers are pushing not just their bodies, their minds. They're pushing their machines to the limit.
Ripping our tater chips, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you let it rip, and sometimes it gets your tater chip. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened out here today. You just got on the street. I was saying, sometimes you come out here to let it rip tater chip, and you end up with a ripped tater chip. That's what happened in this exact situation. The guy ripped his tater chip. So, guy cleaned up quick. See my boy Alex step towing in Klutch. Towed a lot of cars out here this weekend. So shout out to my Freedom Factory people. And shout out to everyone watching online. Hell yeah. That's it, guys. We're in the top 16 still, so we're really heating up. Did good. We're fired up.
All right, let's give you an update on the top 16 progress. We're still on the left side of the bracket and making our way through. It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been, well, you know what? And we're banging through this list of drivers quite fast. I mean, we started this morning nice and early. You guys got to check out the morning show, the Klutch Kickers morning show that aired live from the Freedom Factory. And, now we found ourselves halfway through the top 64, and now we find ourselves starting to slide drivers into the top 8 list of the bracket. You guys can check the live bracket on the ClutchKickers.com website. Go to ClutchKickers.com/100K Drift Series, and we do have the results from that Jonathan Naren and Sebastian Gutierrez. And unfortunately, Naren is unable to make the repairs needed to continue on, so Sebastian will get the win. So Sebastian is going to move on, and he will be facing the winner of Adam LZ versus Rafael Adamus.
But up now, we have the next pair coming up, and it's going to be it's going to be exciting.
Ooh, this Nate Hamilton versus Taylor Hull. If you're down and you're grabbing a hot dog or grabbing some food from the snack bar, you may want to work your way towards the track because this is going to be one of the best battles of the day, I'm sure. So those of you that are down, getting some food or maybe off in the pits somewhere, not paying too much attention, I definitely want you guys to turn your eyes to the track now because we're going to be witnessing a great battle between Nate Hamilton and Taylor Hull. Nate Hamilton will be leading. Taylor Hull will be giving chase. Nate Hamilton in that 144 Print House Nissan 240SX. Taylor Hull in that Comp Cam's Chevrolet Corvette. Both drivers very aggressive, very consistent. Both machines well dialed in. I've seen these guys in practice, and the cars just seem like they're operating on 100%. So it's going to come down to driver versus driver, machine versus machine, who will win. Well, you guys don't want to turn away. You want to make sure you make your way to the grandstands. If you guys, like I mentioned before, if you're down there grabbing some food, you want to make your way towards the grandstands because we're about ready to send them. Nate Hamilton in the 144 Print House Nissan 240 will be leading. Taylor Hole in that Comp Cams Chevy Corvette will be giving chase. Taylor Hole, a monster from the chase position. So let's see Nate Hamilton, a tactician, or when it comes to laying down a good lead run. Both drivers flicking it in. Nate Hamilton getting nice and high on the wall, riding that wall. Nate Hamilton, whoa, diving in, trying to close that gap as Taylor Hole. Both cars doing a great job past that first clip, flicking. Whoa! Oh, unfortunately, that center section of the track just wreaked havoc on Nate Hamilton, not phasing Taylor Hole in that Comp Cams Chevy Corvette as he makes his way through that third and final outer zone. Wow, how unfortunate. We talked about this. You've been hearing us talk about this over and over again, the level of grip from the bank to the infield and how that's going to affect the drivers.
And it continues to affect the drivers, both in the wet and evidently in the dry.
Yeah, in the dry and in the wet, both alike. As you can see on the replay, Taylor Hole shallowing up that line, a chase line, as he was coming off the bank, but unfortunately, Nate Hamilton over-rotating, zeroing out his lead run, not phasing Taylor Hole. Taylor Hole still maintaining drift, able to go right on by Nate Hamilton. And, well, Taylor Hole not known to crumble under pressure, so Nate Hamilton's going to have to be door-to-door with Taylor Hole. It's not going to be easy. Can it be done? We've seen stranger things happen here at the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. So it's not, Nate Hamilton's not out of the game yet, but he definitely has his work cut out for him. So here we go, Taylor Hole. Nate Hamilton trying to get that jump so he can gain that proximity on initiation. Taylor Hole flicking it in. Nate Hamilton right there, door by door, as they make their way across and through the first outer zone. Nate Hamilton doing a good job trying to apply that pressure to Taylor Hole. See, can he cause a mistake? Oh my God! Oh, it's a collision! Oh, it's a collision! Oh my gosh! A collision in the second outer zone. Nate Hamilton coming in hot, trying to apply that pressure. Unfortunately, he may have just took out Taylor Hole. Look at the damage. We're out to get rescue on the field, and you can see Cletus' crew.
We got cars in the air.
We have cars in the air. We have parts flying. We have grass on the track. I mean, it is just chaos here. I knew it would be exciting. I was telling everybody, you want to see this battle. Wow, there's gonna be a lot of replays on this battle for sure. A lot of edited clips on Instagram. I'm guarantee I'm going to see that. But look at Cletus' crew. Like, they're got the brooms out, sweeping off the track, checking to make sure Taylor Hole is okay. Now, here's the question, right? Who is at fault for the collision? And Taylor Hole's car seemed to sustain a fair amount of damage. Seems that Nate Hamilton is okay. I mean, he's still in his car. I'm sure he's not happy, right?
Taylor Hole, super sorry. I'm pushing really hard. I know he's an amazing driver, but shout out to drifting, right? This is what it's all about. You got to go 100%. Oh man, I came into him super hot, got him, tried to get out of it, ran into him again. Shout out to drifting though. I tried hard.
Nate, I think you could drive yours, just go slow. There's nothing broke. It's just bent at the hind.
So, all right, looks like, yeah, we got Taylor Hole is going to get the win. Nate Hamilton's going to be assessed fault, and as you see, both drivers down there at the track talking it out, kind of going over what happened.
It'll be all right.
I owe you a t-shirt.
Yeah, you do. You do owe me a t-shirt.
Well, see, no love lost, right? It's just drifting, right? We know stuff's going to happen, and the drivers have to make these split-second decisions in order to avoid contact, but at the same time, they're trying to apply that pressure. But man, his car doesn't look too good there. Maybe we can get some audio down at the track.
He had to go for broke because he was sitting on a 0, so I get it. It's a bummer to work out like this, but it happened. I think we got what we need to fix it. We'll see what happens.
All right, I was about to say, we got a C6 next door.
All right, I'm not going to recheck. I mean, it's just an axle and a blower, I think. I mean,
I know you got the parts for it. I wish I could help you, but
Done ripped your tater chip?
Yeah, we ripped her up.
Ryan Rescue, about to get you pull up. We're going to take this fork first, please.
All right, you can come out.
Y'all got a lawn stand I can get the front bumper out.
All right, there you have it. A little insight of what's going on down there with the track, and you see Mr. Mike Castleberry on the track as well, assessing the damage alongside Taylor Hull. It's an unfortunate thing. It's kind of funny to hear Mike say, "I wish I could help you, but unfortunately I can't."
Yeah.
Taylor Hull does have some work to do, but as you can see right here during the collision, but spinning out, the spinning obviously caused by and then boom, up in the air. Nate Hamilton's car goes. But Nate Hamilton, he knew he had to be aggressive and give it up for Nate Hamilton as he works his way off the track, and unfortunately has to go on for the weekend. But I'll tell you, it's always exciting when we watch Nate Hamilton with that 144 print house Nissan 240SX. He definitely doesn't back down. He definitely is a driver that is very exciting to watch. Unfortunately, now we're going to have to get Taylor Hull's car off the track. And he's going to have to get it back to the pits, and he's going to be allotted some additional time to make the repairs to his vehicle because the collision was not his fault. So he doesn't have to worry about the 5-minute timeout. He will have some extra time in order to repair his car, and hopefully he can so he can get on to the next battle.
Right, and I'm sure Taylor is happy with the win, but not happy with the repairs.
Right. Cletus' crew doing a great job, as we mentioned several times out there, making sure the cars get off the track, trying to keep the action flowing. And we've been banging through this competition battle after battle in the gauntlet that is round 1 of Klutch Kickers Season 3 $100,000 Drift Series.
Just to give you an update, we have a result in the battle between Rafael Adamus and Adam LZ. And Adam LZ gets to move on because Rafael Adamus couldn't get his car fixed.
So there we go. Adam LZ will advance on. And he looks like he will be battling Sebastian Gutierrez in an epic battle, I believe we're going to see, because both drivers are well dialed in. Both drivers have good experience and have proven to be fierce competitors during this round 1 of the Klutch Kickers Season 3 $100,000 Drift Series, coming to you live from the Freedom Factory in Bradenton, Florida, thanks to Cletus and his crew. So unfortunately, Nate Hamilton did take the win, but Taylor Hull's going to have some repairs for sure. Nice read.
right, so that was Taylor Hall
Mm-hmm.
getting towed off the track, and we have getting our next competitors. One of them already. Actually, no.
That was Adam
LZ.
LZ. Yeah, Adam LZ. I'm sure he was just informed that Rafael Adamus wasn't able to make the repairs to his car, so he did move on already, so he does not have to take that run. But we have an event coming up at the Freedom Factory. Ben, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's Cletus and Cars happening Saturday, May 14th. So it's right around the corner. So be sure to check your get your tickets at the Cletus McFarland website for more information. Oh.
Correction.
Okay.
So it's not happening here. It's happening in Indianapolis Raceway. Cletus and Cars, but those of you that follow Cletus and Cars, you want to go ahead and check that out. You can still purchase tickets. A lot of drivers and spectators from around the country that are watching live may be able to attend this event and go check out Cletus and Cars at the Indianapolis Raceway. Actually, speaking of the man himself, there he is in the camera, taking care of the track. And as we're working our way through this battle in this round 1 of the Klutch Kicker Season 3 $100,000 Drift Series, we have some great battles coming up. Like we said before, Nate Hamilton was, unfortunately, he's going to have to pack it in because of the collision and what happened with the battle between him and Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall is going to be working, him and his crew are going to be working effortlessly to make the repairs to his car so he can go up against the winner of the battle that's going to be coming up is Miles Flick and Joao Baryon. It's hopefully Taylor Hall can get his car together because he's not going to want to go against one of these drivers, either one of these drivers, with the handicap of a mechanical failure. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Either way, both drivers that are coming up to the line, they are trying to take home that cash prize today. So as they warm up their tires, Miles Flick in that blue Ford Mustang, and Joao Baryon in that multicolored livery of Chevy Corvette.
Curious to see what Miles is going to do to compensate for the power difference.
Yeah, Joao is going to lead. Miles is going to chase right out the gate. So let's see how this plays out. Both cars, both competitors have years of experience, so it should be an exciting battle. On the left, Joao Baryon and Miles Flick on the right. Miles Flick will be chasing, and we'll see. I do see a little stagger there, so I'm kind of curious if Miles is going to try to get a little roll start to try to keep that proximity down the straight. He does. He does get a quick little roll start as they make their way down the track. And here they go. Miles Flick trying to apply that pressure as both drivers, wow, Joao nice and deep into that first outside zone, riding the wall, dropping down towards the end, coming across. Way offline, though, as he passes that first inside clip. And I don't know if that phased Miles, but Miles diving back in for the attack as they make their way through the second outer zone, but kind of shorten up his line is Miles Flick trying to gain that proximity. Not able to, unfortunately. But for Joao Baryon putting a commanding lead run down in that Monster Energy Chevy Corvette. Wow.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. Let's watch the replay.
Yeah, Joao just with a great initiation, high on the bank where he needs to be, and Miles just struggled right off the bat. But Joao, I think he just strained out with the correction and then just sent his car way offline. And it gave the opportunity for Miles to close that gap, but then Joao just got himself settled again and then was able to then extend his lead, but the damage had been done already by then.
Yes, for those of you that are just tuning in and are sort of new to drifting, one thing we do want to explain is the job and the roles of the lead and chase drivers. As a lead driver, they're trying to put down a commanding run and like to try to pull away from the chase driver, but that chase driver, he's trying to catch up and try to get door to door with that lead driver, and I don't see those two drivers completing the second half of this run, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the Joao Baryon and the Miles Flick battle. Well, it looks like we have up next, which is going to be Dirk Stratton versus Sean Booth. Dirk Stratton in that Lingenfelter Chevy Corvette, and Sean Booth in that red S15 Silvia, warming up his tires.
Take a look at the replay over here. Maybe trying to get a sense of perhaps something the judges saw that we may have missed.
And judges just want to review that first half of that battle between Joel Baryon and Miles Flick. But up next is Dirk Stratton. Dirk Stratton's going to leave. Sean Booth is going to... Dirk Stratton's going to lead. Sean Booth going to give chase. And let's see what happens. Both cars sound like they're locked and loaded. And here they go. Away they go. Sean almost right door-to-door, bumper-to-bumper as they make their way into the first outer zone. At the last minute, Dirk was able to put a little gap. Let's see if Sean Booth can close that gap as Dirk is high on that wall. Full throttle, nice and tight on that first inside clip. Sean Booth diving in the pocket, trying to apply that pressure to Dirk Stratton as they make their way through the second outer zone. Dirk off course, dropping a tire. Sean not being phased. Whoa! Wow. Dirk Stratton coming in, but Sean Booth not being phased. Sean Booth door to door with Dirk Stratton as they make their way through the third and final zone. Give it up for the drivers. What a great job Sean Booth doing from the chase position, able to make those key adjustments in order to avoid collision. But not just avoid collision, stay in the pocket and continue to apply that pressure to Dirk Stratton as they make their way off the course.
I mean, Dirk did a good job in the lead position, but I would argue that Sean did an even greater job of dealing with it and adjusting to Dirk's movement.
Yeah, and if you look at Sean, he's matching angle for angle, and he's mimicking that transition. When Dirk transitions, but Dirk coming way deep coming out of that second outer zone, just way too deep. He needs to be bringing it back inside to get into that third outer zone. Sean Booth kind of getting caught in the middle. So did Sean Booth put himself in a bad position? Or was Dirk Stratton just way offline? But anyways, we're going to see as they go back at it. Sean Booth in the lead. Dirk Stratton right there with him, initiating almost right on his back bumper. Dirk going to apply that pressure. Sean able to put about a car distance as they make their way through that first outer zone. Wow, here they go. They're flicking in through the infield and transition back into the second outer zone. Sean Booth doing a good job filling out that outer zone. And Dirk trying to apply that pressure from the back. And here they go as they flick it in the third and final outer zone. Will they get choked up? It doesn't look like it. Sean Booth holds together, not as deep into that third outer zone as he could have been. So these are both great lead and chase runs. So the judges are really going to have to pick these two runs apart to be able to come up with a winner.
Right, and it looked a little sketchy from the start because where Dirk decided to initiate it, it almost seemed like there was going to be contact, but luckily there was no contact whatsoever. But Sean did struggle in areas that Dirk didn't. So what's going to happen?
I don't know. We're going to see the judges are going to have to pick apart these two runs. Sean Booth definitely should have been deeper in that second outer zone. But Dirk Stratton was too deep in the second outer zone. So so now you have one driver that was dropping a tire, going too deep into the second outer zone. The other driver too shallow through the second outer zone. So there are subtle differences throughout the run for each driver in their lead and chase positions. So the judges are going to have to pick apart these runs to be able to decide a winner.
Weather looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, weather's looking beautiful. As you can see, it's a beautiful sky here. Was not the scene yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon was a total different scene. We saw heavy rains come through.
Dark clouds.
Dark clouds, lightning, several strikes of lightning around. We saw Cletus' crew trying to clean the track, but it looks like we do have a winner. And there you have it. Dirk Stratton is going to advance on. Dirk Stratton takes the win over Sean Booth. Unfortunately, Sean Booth going to have to call it a weekend, but Dirk Stratton doing a great job and was able to pull out a victory over Sean Booth. I want to go ahead and thank our sponsors once again, BC Racing, Custom Coilovers. Many drivers in our series run these coilovers, and they're definitely a returning sponsor, so we appreciate their support. Also want to thank Nitrous Outlet, which is another returning sponsor. They're the one-stop shop for everything nitrous. They are on site here as well at the Freedom Factory. Grip Royal, creating quality steering wheels and shift knobs. They provide one-off trophy wheels to the podium drivers for each round, so that's exciting. You win a round and you get to have something you can basically have for the rest of your life and put in your car and enjoy as well. Grip Royal, returning sponsor as well, creating, I already mentioned them. ECU Masters USA, returning sponsor, ECU company, used for all motorsports, providing consumers with the utmost quality engine control management.
There's a nitrous outlet mascot running around.
There was, yeah. We saw him. Yes, he actually made his way into the booth. I couldn't believe he fit. Actually, I think we got to have dinner with him last night.
Oh.
He had a lot to say. You know what he was saying?
What? Okay.
I didn't speak nitrous, so I wasn't able to understand what he was saying. But here we go. Brandon Whitnick leading. Savio chasing him down. Let's see as both cars, they flick it into. Wow, Savio, a lot of angle, very aggressive from the chase position, but it might have been too aggressive, causing a major mistake from the chase position. And now Brandon Whitnick, he has no steering. Oh, no! Oh, safe. He's safe. He is safe. Wow. It is crazy how things unfold here, but I don't know if he doesn't have steering or no brakes or what's going on. It looks as if... Oh, no.
What did he break?
I don't know, but unfortunately, Brandon Whitnick does not have a 5-minute timeout. So if his car is broken, he will not... Oh, man, it looks like definitely something in the steering. I don't know if something got caught underneath there and caused steering to jam up. But here you go. Watch the replay, which was unfortunate because Brandon Whitnick could have had the advantage here. Wow, look at him, just straight, and just...
Look at that wheel just wobbling.
Yeah. Man, that was...
the passenger side.
That could have been very serious right there because the angle and the speed he was coming at that wall. Well, thankfully he didn't hit the wall, and it looks like we have a tow truck coming out. But, you know, we got the crew down on the track. Cletus is out there, once again, lending a hand, running his crew. His crew is doing a tremendous job of providing track support for these drivers. All right, while we got some time to clean up the track, we're going to go ahead and get some behind-the-scenes look at the man, Savio Silva.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Savio Silva. I'm from Fort Myers, Florida. Not too far from here. I drive for Drift HQ. I've been drifting for about 5 years. This is actually where I actually started drifting, was this track before it was taken over. And I drive a 1996 240 SX S14. It's powered by a 4-way stroker with a GSR dog box behind it. The car's pretty much set up from the last round of Pro-Am that we were at OSW. I've been driving Klutch for the past 2 years. I've gotten up to top 16, always knocked out, or either a car problem, but you know, hopefully this year we have figured out my car, we have figured out my driving, and it's just about coming out here and try to battle, you know. I'm just here to drive with anyone and have a blast. I know there's a lot of different levels of driving, and which is why I love Klutch Kickers, because it brings all of the drivers together, from professional drivers to grassroots. So I'm just stoked to be out here and have fun with everyone else, just door to door, you know. Make sure to give Drift HQ a follow us, come check us out. We've been out here for a while. We have everything that you guys want and that you guys need. So take care. I'll see you guys later.
And there you have it, Savio and his crew at Drift HQ. I mean, what a tremendous blessing they have been to the drift community. Not only do they provide, a lot of times you'll see the Drift HQ rig at a lot of local events, but they're just so giving back. They give back to the community, and they support a lot of the drivers. They sponsored a lot of great drivers in the past, and I'm sure they're going to be sponsoring a lot of great drivers to come. So definitely, not as only is Savio Silva an excellent driver, he's an amazing chef.
Right. But before you get into detail with that, we got official results. Salvio gets the win. Brandon not able to fix his car because he already used his 5-minute timeout previously. So
yeah, we're not happy with it either, Brandon. We don't want to see you going out with a mechanical failure. We love Brandon Whitnick. He's always exciting to watch. As I said, he's king of the one more time battles, and unfortunately, his car just couldn't handle it.
Right. And Salvio taking down Alec.
Yeah.
Now taking down Brandon. So who can he potentially take down next?
He's going to have to go up against, it looks like. Let me see here. Let me refresh my bracket.
Stratton.
Oh, good Lord. So Savio has not had an easy path to the top, and it doesn't get any easier when he's going to have to face DIRK Stratton in the top 8 battles here. We're just trying to finish off. We're about ready to finish off our last battle of the top to get our top 8, which I believe is...
Well, we still need to get a result from Miles Flick against Zhao Baryon. Miles Flick in his Ford Mustang, Zhao in his Chevrolet Corvette.
Right, and then we'll have completed the top 8 bracket. Once again, you guys can check out the live bracket on clutchkickers.com/100K Drift Series. You also want to check the Clutch Kickers social media, whether it's the Facebook, Instagram, also the YouTube page. They always are continually, I mean, Mike Castleberry and his crew with the Clutch Kickers, they've done a great job of being able to edit and turn out videos very quickly and give some behind-the-scenes footage of what actually goes on in the Clutch Kickers Drift Series. I mean, the Clutch Kickers Drift Series is one of the first series to award the amount of money that they award, and it's provided a place for these drivers to not just hone in their skills and be able to compete at another level, but also reward those drivers that usually do this stuff for nothing.
Right. And I got to wonder, maybe they get rewarded with some of the grass on the track. I hear it's a very popular item.
Yeah, I do hear it's a very popular item. So, if they have some on their tires, they may want to harness that and maybe have that as a little keepsake. But it looks like we're going down to the track, and we're going to see a battle here between Joa Baryon and Miles Flick. As you see, both drivers on track, warming up their tires, getting ready to throw down. So we can get a winner here, then we can finish off that top 8 bracket.
Yeah, this is the second half of this battle.
All right, so this is the second half of this battle. This is run 2 of the battle between Joa Baryon and Miles Flick. Miles Flick is going to be leading in his blue Ford Mustang GT, and then of course you have right behind him Joa Baryon in his Monster Energy Chevy Corvette. And away they go. All right, Miles right out the gate, and it looks like there is a restart light. Oh, look at that.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was very quick. Very quick. As you guys can see, those of you guys that are watching live here, if you look to the right, just before the first outer zone, you're going to see a set of lights there, and you see it's yellow. That is the restart light. The drivers will be looking at that light. If that light goes off, they are to shut the cars down, head back to the line, and so they can restart this race. Both drivers locked and loaded, and away they go. Both drivers taking off down the track. Joa trying to stay right next to Miles as they make their way into the first outer zone. Miles flicking it in. Joa right there with them. Joa going to try to close that gap, and he's starting to surge forward as they come out of the first outer zone. Joa did a great job of maintaining control. Whoa! Straighten out. I'm not sure what was going on. But Miles Flick maintaining control, and definitely an issue with Joa's Mustang Joa's Corvette. Yeah, I got Mustang Corvette, I mean. Get tongue-tied here sometimes. I apologize.
It's almost sounded like it's a transmission issue.
Think so?
Because he kept bouncing off the rev limiter, and he was as if like trying to get into gear to get the car going again.
Right. If you can't get those wheels to spin, you can't get that power down to the ground, that car is not going to go sideways.
But Miles Flick, midway to the bank, could have been higher. And this is where Zhao just has issues. So Miles will take off from here. Could have been better, but I think the judge is going to have to review what happened in the first half of this battle.
Unfortunately, mechanical issues are continuing to plague the drivers as the competition progresses. Getting harder and harder battles as these guys go against each other and just fighting their way to the top. But here we are looking at the replay. And this is when Joa was in the lead position and Miles was in the chase position. We see that Joa was really nice and high on the wall, but did have some pretty major corrections, and Miles corrections as well. Not the cleanest of run from both drivers, but nonetheless, the judges are going to have to assess and see what's going on.
Exactly, and then you have to wonder, does Zhao have 5 minutes to call? And if he does, will he be able to fix it in time?
Correct. I mean, when we got this time, we're pulling Joe off the track. You guys get a chance to check out the vendors, Klutch Kickers out there selling their merch, BC Racing, LZ, MFG, ECU Masters, Champion Racing Oils, Nitrous Outlet, Yankee Special, Kensei Wheels, Grip Royal, Haltech, and Tire Streets. All these vendors out here supporting the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series, coming to you live from the Freedom Factory in Bradenton, Florida.
Yeah, be sure to stop by the concession stand. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Get some food in your belly. I believe was it a Yeah Brother special? Yeah, 2 hot dogs and a drink. I'm sorry. Hell yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I forget. But you know, they're always running specials down there at the snack bar. So go down there, check it out. Get hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken fingers, French fries, and stay hydrated, as we mentioned before. It's definitely the heat's starting to get up there, and we want to make sure everybody has their suntan lotion. I see some umbrellas out there trying to keep the sun off yourselves. But it is a beautiful day, and I'm sure next round is going to get hotter and hotter as the season progresses. So we want to make sure everybody definitely stays hydrated.
So we're still waiting on this decision to be able to finish off the top 16. And if you're just joining us, long day. Started off with the crew telling the drivers, hey, you better show up because we're going to go straight into competition. Drivers meeting was at 7:30. Then we continued off the top 64 from 8 o'clock. And here we are.
All right. Looks like there you go.
One more time.
Miles Flick and Joe are going to go one more time. It's going to be a one more time battle. So they're going to have to go back to the pits, change the tires, get the car all set up. Hopefully, Joa can get his car figured out because it did look like he was having mechanical issues. Like I said, you don't want to go out with mechanical issues. So hopefully he's able to get that figured out and go back and battle against Miles Flick. We're going to take this minute real quick. We're going to go ahead and spotlight Brandon McDowell.
Hey guys, my name is Brandon McDowell, originally from South Louisiana. I'm driving for Njuku Racing here at the Freedom Factory for Klutch Kickers. I've been doing this about 15 years now. Super excited to get the season going. I drive a Turbo LS 350Z, Wise Fab, all the bells and whistles, GSR dog box, winter's quick change. We haven't made many changes this year. We got a new turbo. I'm really acclimated to bank driving. OSW is my home track, so we haven't changed much with the car because it's what it's set up for. We just came off a win at Pro-Am there a few weeks ago, so feeling good about the weekend. We've run Klutch Kickers the last 2 seasons, all 10 events. We've had a couple podium finishes, had some car issues at a couple other rounds, but for the most part, we've been a pretty big threat in the series. Yeah, last year we finished in 8th place at Klutch Kickers Season 2. This year, we're obviously shooting for the top step on the box. That would be the most ideal goal, but we'll see what happens. I'm really, really excited for the weekend. So there's 2 drivers I really want to battle sometime this season, whether it's this weekend or not. Alec Conadale, number 1, he's the champion from last year, so obviously everyone wants to take out the champ. Number 2 is DIRK Stratton in the vet. He's got me 4 battles in a row now, and I really
Connor O'Sullivan thrown in the lead position, being chased by Brandon McDowell. Connor O'Sullivan definitely treating this track like a true veteran, even though he doesn't have that much experience, but giving Brandon McDowell a run for his money as Connor O'Sullivan is gapping Brandon McDowell around the track. Both drivers working their way. Brandon throwing a little too much angle in that second outer zone. Connor O'Sullivan, is he going to be able to take out Brandon McDowell? This would be a tremendous upset. Wow, you just witnessed a great lead run by Connor O'Sullivan. Brandon, unfortunately, not. Oh, man, that was it
caught him off guard?
I think it did. It almost seemed like Connor O'Sullivan just totally caught Brandon McDowell off guard because that is a very uncharacteristic chase run from Brandon McDowell, overshooting that first inside clip of Connor O'Sullivan, just treating this track like a veteran. But we know that the man has only been drifting for about 2 years, and look at him lay down such a beautiful lead run. Brandon McDowell trying to catch up from the chase position. Unfortunately, he's got an uphill battle.
I mean, Brandon McDowell, you could probably say having trouble from the start.
Is Connor gonna take out Brandon McDowell? I don't know. Let's see here. Brandon McDowell now going to have to throw that car in hard as he was to touch the wall almost as they work their way around the track. But Connor not being phased, diving in for the attack. Both cars making their way into the infield. Whoa!
Whoa!
What is going on? What is going on? Connor was applying all types of pressure on Brandon. I mean, Connor was like, he was in kill mode. He knows what, so Connor knows what to expect from Brandon McDowell. And Brandon McDowell, wow, he's going to have his hands full with this one. But, yeah, Brandon McDowell tapping the wall on entry. Connor staying there with them. Shallow angle, trying to keep that proximity as they're worked their way off the bank. Let's see what happens here. Is Connor come off the bank too hot? And right about there, ooh, just barely tapping Brandon McDowell as they make their transition. So that goes back to one of the things we had talked about before, that chase driver, he has to allow the transition for the lead driver.
Right, they have the right of way.
Yeah, the lead driver has the right of way. So let's see as the judges slow this replay down. Right here, boom. So yeah, so it does appear that Brandon McDowell's car seems to be running fine as he gives a little wave to the crowd, puts a little smoke in their face. Brandon McDowell in the Njuku Racing 350Z. And now the judges are going to be analyzing this. And, wow. Connor O'Sully just going on full attack mode. Unbelievable. Just the way he was able to put that lead run down and just not afraid to apply the pressure to Brandon McDowell right here. But unfortunately, just getting a little too close for comfort. Putting himself in an awkward position, trying to be right there for that transition, but not allowing Brandon to make that transition. But we'll see what the judges, as they keep rewinding this over and over again, just coming out of the first outer zone, dropping down past that first inside clip, that transition as Brandon McDowell is taking that lead run. It seems to appear that Connor was just too close. And as Brandon went to make his transition, made contact with the front of Connor's car and caused him to straighten out. And it doesn't look like there was much damage other than cosmetic.
Right. I mean, we've seen worse damage.
Oh, yeah. Throughout the day we have unfortunately seen Ben Julian take it into the wall. We've seen Brandon Whitnick almost slam into the wall as well. We've seen the Klutch Kickers rental Corvette go into the wall yesterday. We've seen some pretty good carnage. We saw, of course, Taylor Hull and Nate Hamilton. Nate Hamilton catching air. It's been an exciting weekend.
Adam LZ losing a bumper.
Adam LZ losing a bumper.
In the rain.
In the rain, right?
With no throttle response. It was just like...
Yeah, that's just how slippery that center section gets. I mean, the traction on that center section, that concrete pavement, there's not as much traction on that inside pavement as there is in the bank and on the tarmac. So when these drivers are flicking into that paddock area, that concrete paddock that's in the center of the track, it's not as grippy as it is in the dry. But when you wet it, it becomes silky smooth, and just the cars are just slipping and sliding yesterday for sure. So judges are definitely analyzing this, trying to make sure they make the correct call.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. And the winner of this will advance on to the finals.
No, I believe top four.
It's top four, right? They're making their way towards the finals in the top four. And up next, it looks like we're going to have Adam LZ versus Sebastian Gutierrez.
Yeah, they're winning in the wings.
Yeah, and that's going to be a great battle. And then we have Taylor Hull, as long as he can get his car fixed. And then
right. Looks like we got a
DIRK
decision
Stratton.
here.
No, we have a decision? Okay. Wow.
Brandon McDowell.
There you go. Brandon McDowell was able to squeak out a win there. Connor just getting a little too aggressive. Unfortunately, Connor putting himself in a bad position. Brandon McDowell's going to advance on. So give it up for Brandon McDowell and Connor O'Sullivan doing a great job just throwing down with a veteran that isn't Brandon McDowell. Connor O'Sullivan driving like a veteran for sure, just showing that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. But as you can see, up on the track next up is Adam LZ and Sebastian Gutierrez. And this is going to be an exciting battle as well.
Yeah, glad to see that Sebastian was able to make it back onto the track after he had that contact. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam LZ warming up his tires in that blue and Drift HQ livery E36 BMW. And, of course, Sebastian in that beautiful blue S15 Silvia. Both guys want to get their tires warmed up because this is definitely not going to be an easy battle for either one of those. And as you guys see, they have different methods of warming up their tires. And you notice Sebastian is kind of like understeering his car, kind of dragging those front wheels. He's trying to warm up those front wheels because he want to make sure those front tires are gripped up and ready to attack the track, and also warm up the rear tires by smoking them up a little bit. They want to make sure their cars are dialed in before they go through this battle. Adam LZ is going to lead the first run. Sebastian's going to give chase. So the cars are lined up, just waiting for the judges and everybody to get set. You guys want to focus? I know Adam LZ is going to go right in, flick it into that first outer zone, ride that outer zone wall. He has had some times where he's come pretty far off that first inside clip, so hopefully he can dial that in because he wants to make sure that lead run is 100% on point. And away they go. Sebastian trying to get a little jump. He wants to get as close to Adam LZ as they make their way down the straight. He wants to be right on the door of Adam LZ. Both cars flicking into the first outer zone. Sebastian right there with Adam LZ as they work their way through the first outer zone. Both cars flicking in. Adam LZ doing a great job getting nice and tight through both inside clips. And here we go. Sebastian going to surge forward for the attack through the second outer zone. Adam LZ doing a great job of just maintaining that clean qualifying lead run, and Sebastian right there with him. Give it up for Adam LZ and Sebastian as they make their way through the first run of this battle.
Yeah, it's great to see that Adam finally figured out the exit of the bank. He didn't go wide like he's been doing so earlier. He went in, got in tight where he needed to be. Sebastian, just all he had to do was just work his way to keep himself close to Adam LZ. There was a little bit of separation here going into the infield, but then he was surging back in, trying to figure something out, and struggled a little bit. But other than that, Adam LZ, great run from him. Sebastian has some work to do.
Yeah, Sebastian, he did have to sacrifice some line and some angle in order to stay in that pocket. But now they're going to switch it up. Sebastian's going to lead. Adam's going to give chase. Adam LZ, definitely an aggressive chase driver, so it's good lead, and Sebastian puts down some great lead runs. So the better the lead run, we can expect more aggression from the chase driver trying to stay inside that pocket.
Restart?
Yep, looks restart light came on, so we're going to send them back to the starting grid. And this is turning out to be pretty exciting. Top 8 here. A lot of action. Some good, some bad, some unfortunate. But all in all, everybody's staying healthy, everybody's staying safe. The only one that's really taking the abuse are their cars. I see a hand out of the window of Sebastian's car. I'm not sure what's going on, and he's
calling for his 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So Sebastian is calling a 5-minute. I guess he felt something off with the car. Adam LZ is going to kind of pull off as well, and I guess wait for Sebastian to get that figured out. So Sebastian's going to go back to the pits and try to get his car all squared away. I guess that false start was a blessing, right? Because had he figured out something was wrong with his car halfway through the track, it could have caused a collision or him to take a loss. Because right now it's neck and neck.
So we're going to wait for the next competitors to line up, whoever that may be. Could be Adam and Sebastian, or could be moving on to another battle with DIRK Stratton and Savio.
Yeah, I see DIRK Stratton out there and Savio Silva both out there. Savio's got a This is not going to be an easy battle. He's going to have to be on point, and he's going to have to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, because DIRK Stratton, one thing he's always shown is consistency. A lot of commitment, very aggressive in both the lead and chase position. Always an exciting driver to watch. He doesn't have Alec Hunnerdale in front of him. If he can take out Salvio, the victory might be his today. Once again, I want to thank everybody joining us. This is round 1 of the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series, Season 3, at the beautiful Freedom Factory located in Bradenton, Florida.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at some replay footage because there is a protest in effect. So we're looking at Brandon McDowell and Connor O'Sully. So as we look back, we see Brandon did hit the wall.
So I guess they're assessing what impact they may have had on Connor as Brandon McDowell tapped the wall upon entry. So let's see what happens here. Well, as the judges are watching this replay over and over again to address the protest, just want to make sure everybody's staying hydrated. We see that the pits are packed. I can see everybody in the pits staying hydrated, having a good time, rooting on their favorite driver. And it's been amazing to be able to watch all the drivers compete throughout the weekend. We have drivers, some of the best drivers from across the U.S., but we also have 4 drivers coming all the way down from Canada. We have drivers from the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and it's just been great to see that they're able to come here and compete. We've had drivers at the Klutch Kickers events has been able to bring drivers from Africa, South America, all across the globe, and it's become this icon in the drift world that Klutch Kickers has been able to formulate this event and award these drivers with the prize money. $100,000. They're giving away $100,000 throughout the course of the season, and that's really unheard of. If you've been following drifting, that the amount of money doesn't get given away to these drivers. So Klutch Kickers has a heart for the drivers. They are drivers for the most of them. So it's built by the drivers for the drivers, and Klutch Kickers has been able to just work their magic, and 3 seasons later, they're going strong, working alongside with Cletus and the Freedom Factory crew to be able to bring this event to you here today.
Right, and with that cash prize money, you're going to get fierce competition. You're going to have competitors doing whatever it takes to win.
Right. So what does the cash prize do? It brings these drivers, a lot of these drivers either were pro in the past or are currently pro, and you're able to the grassroots driver is able to build a car to come out here and compete and test his skill levels against the top-notch drivers from around the world. Like we have Taylor Hull, Chelsea Denofa, Adam LZ, just to name a few. We have world-class drivers that are here to just not only put down a serious show for the audience, but also provide that experience for those other drivers to be able to pull from and learn. Once again, I want to go ahead and... Oh, it looks like we have another decision. So I see...
Okay, so they are reversing a decision.
Wow, so Brandon McDowell and Connor O'Sullivan, the initial decision that Brandon McDowell wins has been overturned. So Connor O'Sullivan is now advanced on, and unfortunately, Brandon McDowell will be taking the loss. So there you have it, folks. It's interesting, and that is a tool in the driver's handbook that they can... Actually, that'd be great. Actually, we have one of the judges. We're going to have them come on and explain exactly what was going on. So the judge is Will Parsons. Will Parsons, take it away.
So on that run, we thought that Connor O'Sullivan zeroed on his entry before the other car stopped. The 350Z, his engine turned off or something coming off the bank.
Okay.
But we had Connor O'Sullivan on a 0 already on his entry. But then when we reviewed the footage, he did straighten on his initiation, but it was before the last initiation cone.
Oh,
and he was
okay.
able to get into drift before the last point.
Okay.
He's required to.
Okay. All right, good. Well, there you have it, folks. This is Will Parsons. He's one of the judges alongside Dwayne Ramsey and Jeremy Lowe. I appreciate the explanation. It's always good to get that, insight of what the judges are looking for. We thank you so much. Judges, Will Parsons has been one of our judges for a long time, so he's definitely not new to the Clutch Kicker series, and of course Dwayne Ramsey either. Jeremy Lowe new this year, but all three judges, years and years of experience. But that being said, Connor O'Sullivan is going to advance on and overturn the victory of Brandon McDowell. But here we go. We got Miles Flick going against Taylor Hole. Taylor Hole out front, throwing it into the wall. He looks like he was able to get that car together, and it doesn't look like it affected him at all as Taylor Hole works his way through that first outer zone. Miles throwing a lot of angle coming out of the first outer zone. Taylor Hole doing a good job staying out front and just throwing his car. I'm glad he was able to get his car together, doing a great job filling out that second outer zone. Miles lagging behind slightly, but Taylor Hole doing a great job filling in the outer zones and hitting the inside clips as they make their way off the track. Wow, give it up for Taylor Hole and his crew. Put your hands together, because he was able to take that car that we saw earlier, get beat up pretty bad by Nate Hamilton.
And get towed out of here.
And here he is a few moments later throwing down a lead run, an excellent lead run to say the least. And here we go. As we can see, we're watching the replay. Taylor doing a great job staying high on the bank on that first outer zone, flicking inside. Miles Flick having a hard time catching up and trying to close that gap. That chase driver, I mean, he doesn't want to let that lead driver get away. And unfortunately, it looks like Taylor Hole just keeping that commanding lead throughout the course. Miles is going to have to he's really going to have to hope for a major mistake by Taylor Hole, but that's definitely not part of Taylor Hole's character. Taylor Hole is definitely a pro out here throwing down in his Comp Cam's Chevy Corvette.
Yeah, there's something going on with his tires, because he's taking a look at it.
Okay. Well, I mean, he did have to repair that car quite quickly, but it looked like it was maintaining drift and didn't look like he had mechanical issues as I was watching his lead run. So far, so good. Let's just hope that car stays together. As you see the replay here, he is dragging that left foot brake as almost all the way around that first outer zone and getting inside. Miles just having a hard time gaining proximity.
Ooh.
Oh, you saw that? What was that?
There's that the bead.
Oh, no.
Going into that infield. But
let's see here. So what is the rule on debeating?
Oh, hang on. Let's finish seeing here. Just that bump.
Coming off that elevation. Wow, I didn't realize how significant that elevation
time
changes.
there. Boof. Ooh, a little bit of spark there, too.
Wow. So, okay, the judges are going to have to assess that. So what we're hearing is if a driver debeads a tire without collision, it's going to be a 0. The drivers cannot, if their tire debeads without a collision, it is a 0. So unfortunately for Taylor Hole, even though his crew is able to get the car back together, he's going to have to take the loss on this one, and Miles is going to advance on. Very unfortunate.
All right, so we're going to go back to the second half of Adamus and Sebastian Gutierrez.
And you see both drivers warm up their tires once again. Sebastian did seem to have... and there you go. There's the official results. Got Taylor Hole and Miles Flick. And Miles Flick taking the win, as we mentioned. Unfortunately, Taylor Hole debeating a tire on track without collision or incident. So... yeah, it's very unfortunate, but it is in the rule books. We mentioned earlier how these drivers run such low tire pressure to try to have the most grip as possible. They're not allowed to run bead locks. So it's unfortunate. Taylor Hull, valiant effort from his crew, able to get that car back together. But up at the line, we have Adam LZ and Sebastian Gutierrez out here to do battle. Sebastian going to lead. Adam LZ going to give chase. Looks like the drivers are locked and loaded, ready, set. Judges seem ready. Everybody seems ready. I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. Here we go. Away we go. Sebastian and Adam LZ making their way down the track. Adam LZ almost right on the bumper. Sebastian as they flick it into the first outer zone. Sebastian high on the wall. Adam LZ trying to close that gap as they make their way through the first outer zone. Sebastian way off that first inside clip, and they make their way through the infield and flicking it in. Here comes Adam LZ. He's going to surge forward for the attack. He wants to apply that pressure through that second outer zone. He's doing a great job staying right in the shadow of Sebastian as they work their way through the third and final outer zone. Wow, Adam LZ, a little bobble there towards the end. Sebastian, oh! Oh, no. Oh, okay, it looks like everybody's okay. It was right at the end. So that's going to be something that needs to be played back for the judges. One thing that judges have told the drivers that even though the spin was after the end of the track, one of the things the judges told the drivers is that just because you have finished the course does not mean you can spin or make a major error there. They're still, it's not judging, but they're still wanting the drivers to complete the drift. So we'll see what happens. The judges here are going to look at the replay. Adam LZ doing a great job. I mean, he did come shallow through the last half, but he was trying to gain proximity, and unfortunately, Sebastian just overcooking it as he exits off the course. Interesting.
Whew.
Wow, that was exciting.
Tense moments.
Yeah, it is a tense moment. So what seemed to be an advantage in my book that Sebastian in his lead run definitely seemed to put a commanding lead and be able to pull put a gap between him and Adam LZ. May have just made that all null and void spinning out after the end there. Sebastian doing a great job high in that wall. Adam LZ dropping back just slightly, but able to try to get back in that pocket. Sebastian really far off that first inside clip, but Adam LZ doing a great job following that line. And as they flick it into the infield, Sebastian doing a great job, but wow, Adam LZ hitting that inside clip with the middle of his car, trying to close that gap and maintain proximity. But as you can see, Adam LZ getting right back in the pocket as they make their way through the second outer zone and diving in. Adam LZ really good in the pocket. Once he gets set in there, he does a great job of just maintaining control, matching angle for angle. But he did throw a little too much angle working his way into the third outer zone. Had to bobble a little bit to regain that proximity. But Sebastian, unfortunately, spinning out the end. So the judges are reviewing the runs over and over again, and hopefully we'll be able to come up with winner. But wow, great run for both drivers.
And whoever wins from here will do battle against Connor or Sully.
Correct, and that was what a change that was, right? Connor O'Sullivan initially taking the loss. Well, we believed Brandon McDowell, had a hard-fought battle, right? I mean, Brandon McDowell definitely seemed like he had the disadvantage.
Right, he struggled in the chase position.
In the chase position, and going into the second run, Connor O'Sullivan was just on fire, just applying that pressure.
But too much pressure.
Too much pressure will put himself in an awkward position, but able to review the footage, challenged the call, and got it overturned. So I believe that's 2 overturned calls we've had by protest this weekend. So it's definitely exciting to watch, and protests are part of it. Sometimes they're valid, sometimes they're not, but it was a good thing he used it.
It's part of the game.
It's part of the game. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us live and on the live stream at the Klutch Kickers Round 1 of the $100,000 Drift Series at the beautiful Freedom Factory. Cletus and his crew have done an amazing job of keeping the track consistent and supporting his fellow competitors. So how's the grid stacking up? So far, it looks like we have. Let me refresh this. You guys can check out the live bracket. It looks like the winner of this battle is going to go against Connor O'Sully, and then we have the battle of DIRK Stratton versus Savio Silva, and that'll round out the top 4. And then from then on, and we're almost through it. It's been a long day. I do want to mention that this was the original start time for the show. The reasoning behind it is we've had to fight off some serious storms, and unfortunately we can't run. These drivers can't run this track at the level that they're running it in the rain. It's a recipe for disaster. So in efforts to be able to get the competition completed and give the drivers the ability to put their 100%, we had to basically shotgun the competition. Running battle after battle after battle, taking no breaks. All the crew, Cletus's crew, the clutch kicker crew, we're all just. It's been a long day for all of us. Going. So we do apologize that the event did start sooner than expected, but it was necessary because there is bad weather that is scheduled to come in, I believe, around 2 or 3 o'clock. So keeping that in mind, we want to make sure that we get this done before then. But here it goes. And it looks like we got a one more time battle between Sebastian Gutierrez and Adam LZ. One more time for these two drivers. Oh, man, I'll tell you. It's just getting more. It's these judges, they really have their hands full with these drivers.
Then we got our next pair coming up. DIRK Stratton in the Chevrolet Corvette against Savio Silva.
So, guys,
in his Nissan 240SX.
Yep, sorry to cut you off, but yes, once again, I want to remind you guys the live bracket is up, so you guys can go on to clutchkickers.com/100K Drift Series, and you can go ahead and check out the bracket. You can see the path that these drivers had to take in order to get to where they are now. So DIRK Stratton, a driver and a car that we know is consistent. Savio Silva, excellent driver, very aggressive in the chase position. Neither driver has an easy task before them. Both drivers are going to have to fight tooth and nail in order to edge out a victory. So what'll happen? Let's see.
Savio finding his way through to potentially what may be his first podium finish.
Right, this would be Savio's first podium finish at the Clutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. I'm sure he's excited. Savio, a key member of the Drift HQ team, providing all the drifters with parts, especially on site with their on-site their van. They bring it out and just able to provide parts for these drivers at several events. Drift Week, a lot of times they bring it along as well. So here we go. DIRK Stratton going to lead. Savio going to give chase, and here they go. Both drivers out. Savio doing a great job staying side by side. DIRK Stratton as they make their way into the first outer zone. Both cars throwing it in hard. DIRK Stratton riding the wall all the way through that first outer zone. Doing it. Savio coming in hard. Oh, slight collision. Both drivers staying in it. DIRK Stratton not getting phased, staying in drift. Savio, I think for a second there he thought that DIRK was going to stop, but no, he just kept going. DIRK Stratton laying it all on the line. Savio back in the pocket, back applying that pressure as the cars make it through the third and final outer zone. Give it up for DIRK Stratton and Savio Silva, Drift HQ. Wow. Holy cow. Look, that was an amazing run. Okay, here as you see, you're watching the replay. DIRK Stratton thrown in hard. Savio right there with him, trying to close that gap as they worked away. But, overcooks it. Taps DIRK. Doesn't phase DIRK. DIRK just keeps going.
It actually helped DIRK.
Yeah, it almost seems like it lined them back up, right? But Savio, for a second there, I guess maybe he felt the collision and thought DIRK might pull out. But, no, DIRK just kept staying in it. And Savio's right there with him. Unfortunately, Savio having to sacrifice a lot of line coming through the third and final outer zone. Wow. So we're trying to get word to see who is at fault. Sometimes you will see the chase driver make contact with the lead driver, but then they have to assess the lead driver's line. Was the lead driver offline? Did he put himself in a position that caused the chase driver to make a correction and cause contact? So the judges are going ahead. They're going to have to decide that. It does look like DIRK Stratton is going back to the pits, so maybe we can get a word from our judges on exactly what's going on.
Well, he's got to go back to check his car. I mean, for all we know, it could have been thrown off alignment or something else might have potentially broken. The last thing you need is that something unforeseen might have broken, and then it actually, or it didn't break or close to break, and then it breaks in the heat of battle.
Right, but typically I know, depending on whose fault, right, you can either call a 5-minute timeout, or if you're deemed not at fault for a collision, you are awarded more time in order to repair your car or make changes or inspect your car to make sure it's ready to do battle. So I'm not sure if DIRK Stratton was deemed fault or Savio Silva, so maybe we get some clarification on that from the judges. Otherwise, it's been a hard-fought battle for all these drivers as they've been working their way through the field, battling through the rest of top 64, which we were unable to complete, unfortunately, due to weather conditions. But these drivers had no practice before competition and have had to go run after run and battle out and working our way into the finals.
Well, it's still a race against the clock, and actually a race against the weather.
Yeah, it is.
Trying
Right
to
now,
get through.
it's beautiful weather right now. This is picture-perfect weather for drifting. It's sun's out, track is hot. Drivers are able to put down some solid runs, and they don't have to battle that patchy, wet and dry track that they've had to do earlier in this weekend. So right now, it looks as if both Savio Silva and DIRK Stratton are going to inspect their cars to make sure that there was no damage, that the way they could finish the second half of that battle. And the winner of this battle is going to be going up against, it looks like Miles Flick. So Miles Flick is going to face the winner of this battle between DIRK Stratton and Savio Silva. And we still have that one more time battle between Adam LZ and Sebastian Gutierrez. You can see the bracket on the screen, those of you that are watching on the live stream. We're working our way. We're almost done. We're getting to the end of this show. And there's been a lot of action in this show so far. Some accidents, some ups, some downs, some bad weather, some good weather. And but we're here. We're almost through it. And once again, I want to apologize for those of you that are joining us on the live stream. We were initially supposed to start much later, actually around this time, but due to inclement weather that's going to be coming through later on, the Klutch kickers found it necessary to just get the show on the road and make sure we can complete a full season, but that you guys will be able to watch it up to 10 days, I believe. So you're not going to miss any action. You'll be able to check it out as well.
Here's a recap of some of the things that we experienced. Look at that lake.
Yeah, there's Cletus.
Yeah, Cletus there, just making sure, trying to work his way to just get that water out of there.
Yeah.
And it's just a process of just getting the water out and then drying it off. And then it's just nonstop.
Yeah,
it was
very,
nonstop.
Very tedious process. I mean, this is almost like a big bowl, as you dubbed it, the Lake Freedom Factory. And just trying to try to dry the track off is not an easy task.
And it wasn't just yesterday. It was Friday, too. Drivers were here on Friday to practice, to get ready for the event. And there was a delay. It was a major storm that hit the track. And unfortunately, they worked around it. But I think yesterday was probably worse.
Oh, yesterday was definitely worse. So far, everything is good. But around this time yesterday is when we were getting ready to start the top 64 battle. And we were unable to complete the battle because of the competition, that part of the competition, because of the weather. That was unfortunate. And even towards the end, we thought we'd be able to complete it, but unfortunately not. And as you can see, Cletus McFarlane, he wants to make sure his grass is award-winning grass. I've been hearing a lot of compliments on how amazing this grass is.
Right.
I mean, I see some of the media guys laying down in it in between runs, just trying to soak up that sun.
Hey, maybe a new type of race over here.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if he can get deep in the pocket here as Cletus makes his way through the third and final outer zone. He's getting deep into that outer zone, doing a good job, keeping no angle whatsoever. Oh, he's a little bobble there. Didn't made a slight correction. We're gonna see how the judges weigh that in, but he's getting real tight on the outer zone, and he comes out and he completes without a spin. Give it up for Cletus McFarland! Oh, he just spun out. Oh, that's a 0. Oh no!
Another 0.
Oh wait, is he gonna get a tire up? I don't know. Do we have any jumps? I'd like to see that thing do a jump.
Drift HQ has a jump.
Yeah, I shouldn't put thoughts like that into his head, right? Oh, okay. All right, there you go. There you go. Always ready to put on a show for the fans. Work and play simultaneously is Cletus McFarland's motto, I'm sure. So we're still here you go. Looks like it's a replay. Look at the replay. Look at the style. Is he?
Look at the finesse.
The finesse. Yes, we're
the
watching. The
precision.
Yeah, the precision. I've never seen anybody mow pavement like Cletus McFarland, ever. Nice job.
I think he was trying to get some three-wheel action there.
I think he was trying to get a little three-wheel action there. I think you're right.
Going back to the grass.
Yep. I think it works better on the grass.
He's pulling over.
I
Maybe
think
to
he's
check
got
his
a
tires.
few words for us. Maybe we can go down there and there we go. Let's see what he has to say. What do you have to say for yourself, Mr. Cletus?
You want to talk?
Might have blown the head gasket.
There we go. We're back at it. We got some downtime while we wait for the next team, so we're going to fix up the grass a little bit.
Man is all business. I mean, the man doesn't stop working, right? Like, he's out there cleaning up the track. He's out there making sure the driver's okay. He was competing this weekend. Now he's mowing the grass. It's like, that's you got to give it up to him. He's a hard-working man for sure. We want to thank all the drivers that came out here today to throw down and compete against each other. I know they've all had a great time. Unfortunately, there has been some accidents and some collisions, and there's going to be a lot of work for the drivers that were here today in order to prepare for round 2 of Season 3 of the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. At behalf of myself, Tim Murphy, and Captain Ben, we just want to say we're so grateful for the Klutch Kickers crew of bringing us back and allowing us to just help educate the audience that are on the live stream and those that are here, and give you up-to-date information on the drivers and give you some play-by-play action. And hopefully we've done a great job, and we look forward to round 2 for sure.
Round 2 with a different layout, a new set of challenges.
Mm-hmm. And all the layouts are on the Klutch Kickers website as well.
Right. And also, they're working with one of the developers in the Assetto Corsa game, whereby you can actually get a simulated look at the track layout before the event happens.
So if you want to run... Oh, we got a little replay of the wheelie of Mr. Cletus as he's... Here we go. Execution. Let's see here. Throws it in reverse. Floors it. Brings the wheels up. Ba-boom. But as we mentioned, yeah, you see these drivers out here battling it out season after season, event after event, and you see the drivers continually pouring all their time and effort into competing and working their way, through the competition and able to provide such a great show for the audience here. I want to go ahead and thank our sponsors while we have a minute. I want to thank BC Racing, providing custom coilovers for many drivers that are in the series. Nitrous Outlet, they're with a one-stop shop for everything nitrous. Grip Royal, quality racing steering wheels and shift knobs. They provide one-off trophies for the wheels, for one-off trophy wheels to the podium drivers each round. ECU Masters, ECU company used for all motorsports, providing consumers with the utmost quality and engine management control. Champion Race Oil, proven to maximize horsepower in a wide range of racing applications. Haltech, on site this weekend as well, supporting drivers such as Hurt and many other drivers as well. But many of these sponsors and vendors that are out here, we just want to thank them so much for supporting Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. We're going to go ahead and cut to a quick little behind the scenes of Klutch Kickers and what brings them here to the Freedom Factory.
The Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series, a one-of-a-kind series built by the drivers, for the drivers, that brings the fun back into competitive drifting. A place where pros, bros, and all in between come together to have fun, make money, and evolve the sport of drifting forever. Starting back in 2018, Klutch Kickers developed a team with a dream to take drifting to the next level. While traveling all over the U.S., hitting event after event, they quickly learned how expensive this hobby-turned-career was for any team or individual. The $100,000 Drift Series was created in order to reward those drivers that spent all their time and money in a sport they are willing to do for free. After 2 successful seasons, and with over $250,000 in payouts to podium drivers across the U.S. and around the globe, Klutch Kickers was faced with their first true test. A test that could potentially put a complete stop to all the hard work and momentum they created. Outside of Klutch Kickers' control, the beloved track in Holt, Florida, better known as Drifter's Paradise, was forced to close down. This took the community by surprise and was heartbreaking for all those who experienced the memories the track provided. Klutch Kickers has been fueled by the love of the sport and the desire to make drifting better than ever. Unfortunately, love and desire don't pay the bills, but quitting is not an option. Klutch Kickers knew they had created something special within the community and had to keep fighting to keep it going. What will Klutch Kickers do now? This couldn't be the end. The love for the sport was too deep to stop here. Even though many had thought this would be the end of Klutch Kickers, the crew saw this as a new beginning.
All right, and we're back, and as you can see on the grid, we have Adam LZ and Sebastian Gutierrez. They're getting ready to throw down one more time battle. Adam LZ is going to go ahead and lead. Sebastian is going to give chase and hopefully be able to walk away with the winner. Both drivers have been on their A game as they've been battling it out throughout the event. Adam LZ having to take out Louis Lanz and Ethan Parnell in his previous battles, and just fighting his way through the just battle after battle, and Sebastian taking out Wyatt Webb and Ben Julian. Ben Julian, what some would say, kind of took out himself, unfortunately hitting the wall as he made it through the first outer zone. But right now it's Adam versus Sebastian. Who will win? Adam going to lead, and they make their way down the straight. Adam LZ, wow, pulling about a 3 to 4 car gap from Sebastian as they make their way into the first outer zone. Sebastian struggling. Is he going to, almost hitting the wall. Sebastian Gutierrez around the first outer zone. Adam maintaining composure, laying down a solid lead run as he makes his way through the second outer zone. He just needs to hold it together. Hopefully his spotter in his ear is saying, just take it easy, Adam. But he's doing a great job getting deep in those outer zones. Give it up for Adam LZ.
I think Adam just did a great job taking off to start.
He did.
It really didn't. Sebastian really didn't expect that. Adam LZ just took advantage of that lead, and Sebastian just struggled all the way through the bank.
Yeah, I mean, Adam was like a rocket ship right out of the gate, being able to put that almost bus length on Sebastian coming down the straight, and then Sebastian having a fight to get in the pocket and regain what he had lost at the start. But I'm not really sure what's going on. I do see Adam LZ lined up in that chase position. Oh. All right, looks like we got results, so we're going to wait for those results from the judges and see exactly what's going on. And as you can see up on the bank, we got DIRK Stratton up there. And as you see on the screen, Adam LZ is going to go ahead and take the win. Adam LZ is going to take the win. Not exactly sure what was going on with Sebastian's car. May have had an issue, not able to make the repairs, but Adam LZ is going to advance on. And it looks like Adam LZ is going to be doing battle against Connor O'Sullivan. Connor O'Sully just on fire this weekend, taking out competitor after competitor. And up next, we have DIRK Stratton versus Savio Silva. DIRK Stratton versus Savio Silva.
And I believe this will be the second half of the battle.
Okay. As you can see, DIRK Stratton is going to be leading. Savio giving chase.
No, correction. Actually, Savio is going to be leading. DIRK is going to be giving chase.
Ah, okay. All right, so there you go. So this is the second half of the battle. We got Savio Silva is going to lead. DIRK Stratton is going to give chase. Savio needs to put down that commanding lead run if he wants to be able to edge out a victory over DIRK Stratton. DIRK Stratton known to be the man to apply a ton of pressure to that lead driver. So here we go as they get locked and loaded and set. Both drivers taking off down the track as they make their way. DIRK Stratton almost right on the back bumper of Savio as they make their way through the first outer zone. Savio a little shallow, not as deep into that zone, but DIRK right there with them. They make their way past the first inside clip, flick it in to the infield. DIRK right there with Savio trying to apply that pressure, and here he goes for the attack as they make their way through that second outer zone. Savio doing a great job staying right on that outer edge, and there's DIRK almost closing the door on. Wow, look at DIRK trying to gain that proximity as they make their way through our track. Give it up for Savio Silva and DIRK Stratton. Great job by DIRK Stratton trying to stay in that pocket, coming within inches as they made their way into that third and final outer zone, doing an amazing job. Savio doing a nice lead run. Shallow on that first bank, though, as you watch the replays. Very shallow throughout that first outer zone. Been able to bring it back in, work his way through the infield, getting a little tight on that inside clip. Both drivers flicking into the second outer zone. Savio getting nice and wide, allowing DIRK Stratton to gain that proximity. Both drivers doing an excellent job as they make their way. Savio very shallow through that third and final outer zone, but
yeah, but if you recall, there was that contact between both of the drivers.
Correct.
So what's going to happen here?
I don't know, looks like we do have a decision.
Yep. DIRK Stratton.
Are you sure? Well, you got one. Oh, there you go. Yep, DIRK Stratton is going to take the win. DIRK Stratton is going to advance on. Savio Silva, hard-fought victories along the way, but unfortunately, DIRK Stratton just did what he had to earn the win in this battle here.
So that concludes the Grade 8, and we're now down to the Final 4.
Final 4, folks. This is the Final 4. We've been from 64 now down to 4. And the weather is beautiful. So the clutch kickers, their plan worked. We achieved a full event, and we're going to be able to witness these Final 4 drivers battle it out, which I believe is the $10,000 prize for first. Am I correct?
I'd have to check.
I believe so. We want to thank everybody that's been here all weekend, weathering the rain, the sun, and just sticking through thick and thin. We want to thank the Clutch Kickers crew for just putting on this event for us. All these drivers, they really appreciate everything the Clutch Kickers crew does and able to provide this event here. And the most exciting action is yet to come. We want to thank Cletus and his crew here at the Freedom Factory, just providing an amazing venue. And you guys, if you guys are taking pictures and taking videos, feel free to hashtag Clutch Kickers, hashtag Freedom Factory, and go ahead and spread the news. Tell others that, hey, listen, I came out, I had an amazing time out here. We got to see some of the best battles that we've seen, some great action. You've seen, like I said, ups and downs. You've seen these drivers. Some of these drivers have been driving in Clutch Kickers since the beginning, and to see how they've progressed. And then other drivers new to the season. So you've been able to see the balance of the new drivers versus the more experienced drivers. And I mention that because of Connor O'Sully. Connor O'Sully a new driver, not just to Klutch Kickers, but also to drifting as well.
But it's great to see him in his BMW because remember he had teased us with it for several rounds for the last year, but he kept coming back with his Nissan.
Right.
But he got it done. He got it completed, and I got to tell you, you could argue it's even better than his Nissan.
Absolutely, the car definitely seems dialed in, and it's taken the abuse that he's given it, right? I mean, he's really throwing it in hard, and he's putting down tons of smoke, a lot of angle, good commitment. You look at his runs, and you swear the man has been drifting for decades.
Right, Adam LZ, new livery, same car, perhaps a different setup,
right?
And seen some great battles from him. Saw before, like, he struggled in the exiting the bank, but he worked his way, and then from there on out, he's been pretty consistent.
So despite the weather conditions earlier this weekend, we have been able to pull off this event in full completion. We did start much earlier. Everybody was up super early this morning. The drivers had to be at the drivers' meeting at 7:30. Went right into battle at 8 a.m. this morning. You were able to enjoy the Klutch Kickers morning show, full of drifting and excitement. We've seen crashes, collisions, ups and downs, and it's been an exciting day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so here we go. Those of you guys that are watching on the live stream, you can see we're up high in the sky with a bird's eye view of the Freedom Factory, and we're about ready to start the Final Four competitions. We've seen cars hitting the walls all across the track. We've seen spin-outs, breakdowns, everything, water gushing out of the back of cars. But the Final Four drivers have been selected, and they battled their way to the top. And you're about to witness one of the best battles that we've seen this weekend.
Right, with Connor O'Sullivan, Adam LZ, Miles Flick, and DIRK Stratton, our Final Four competitors. And one of these gentlemen is going to take the top prize.
Yep, so the stage is set for greatness, I would say, as these drivers are going to battle it out. I can see Connor O'Sullivan right there at the opening of the track. He's getting ready to do battle against Adam LZ. This is going to be indeed one of the best battles of the weekend. Adam LZ has been relentless in his pursuit to be competitive and be consistent. His car has dialed in and has just proven to be a weapon against everybody that he battles against. Connor O'Sullivan as well. His car has proven to be an absolute beast, and especially him behind the wheel taking out drivers such as Brandon McDowell. And it just has proven that he has what it takes to be the #1 finisher today. Not to mention Connor O'Sullivan taking out Josiah Felize, Dave Peoples, and Josiah Loubier. I mean, he really had a hard-fought road to get to where he is today. So it's great to see him. He's locked and loaded. Looks like he's getting ready to get on the track. We're just, I guess we're waiting for Adam LZ to finish off, pair up these guys out, and get them on the track.
And we have Miles Flick. Miles, he won against some heavy hitters. I mean, you have Miles against Baryon. And notably, Michael Elsey. Remember, Michael Elsey's hood popped open.
Right. So Miles was able to edge out Michael Elsey. Michael Elsey, unfortunately, his hood popping off and blocking it. But what was interesting, if you guys were able to watch earlier, Michael Elsey's hood flying up at the start line, but he didn't stop. He continued to drift. He continued to drift with his hood covering his windshield, making his way all the way around the track with actually a pretty decent run, to say the least. Unfortunately, it results in a 0. But as you can see, our bird's eye view, you can see the rescue there, and you can see Connor O'Sullivan just staged and getting ready to face off against Adam LZ. We want to thank everybody once again for coming here. If you guys get a chance, check out the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series so you can see the upcoming events. You can also get to look at the future layouts that were all the events throughout the rest of the year will be held here at the Freedom Factory. So you want to stay tuned to not just Klutch Kickers, but also Cletus's website so you can stay tuned on the events that are coming up. And we also want to thank all the Klutch Kickers crew, Cletus's crew, and all the sponsors and vendors that were able to make it out here today. But as we see, Connor O'Sullivan and Adam LZ are about to warm up their tires in what could be the best battle of the event so far. There you see on screen, Connor O'Sullivan is going to be leading. Adam LZ is going to give chase. Both drivers preparing to do battle in their drift machines. Both BMWs. Connor O'Sullivan, the E46, Adam LZ in his E36. And this is definitely a battle I wasn't planning to see, honestly. I have to be honest, I was more expecting, when I was looking at the bracket, I was expecting to see Brandon McDowell and Adam LZ, but Connor, he's got what it takes.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what happens here.
There's a little bit of car missing there, but that's all right. That's called progressive weight reduction. Can't open up, fall off if it's not on to begin with, right? All right, both drivers locked into. Connor O'Sullivan's going to lead. Adam LZ is going to chase. Let's see as they make their way down the straight. I can't sit down anymore. I got to stand up and watch as they go down the straight. Adam LZ is trying to close that gap. Connor doing a great job, pulling about a car and a half. Connor throwing it into the wall, riding that wall all the way down the track. Adam LZ trying to close that gap. Connor just on fire. But here we go. Adam LZ is going to have to make his move here as he applies pressure, diving in the pocket through the second outer zone. Connor not as deep as he could have been, but Adam LZ right there with him as they flick it into the third and final outer zone. There is about car length between the two. Give it up for Connor O'Sullivan and Adam LZ.
All right, here we go. Taking a look at the replay. You see Connor O'Sullivan just high on the bank where he needs to be, but just knocking that cone inner clip right off the mark. And then you have Adam LZ just right there where he needs to be, but struggling to just keep that proximity in place. But great job from both of the drivers as they make their way through the course.
Yeah, Connor doing a good job of laying down a solid lead line. Did take out that inside clip. Adam LZ, I'm sure he would have much rather be deeper in that pocket there, about a car and a half behind. Connor's, we already know how he went up against Brandon McDowell, that he's not going to give Adam LZ an inch if he can, but Adam LZ got that power, laying it down. Connor right there with him as both drivers throw it into the first outer zone. Look at Connor almost on the door of Adam LZ as they come up. Oh, major correction by Connor O'Sullivan. Oh, that might have been just too much to be able to edge out a victory over Adam LZ, but Connor O'Sullivan showing that he's not afraid and he's not going to back down. He's going to apply that pressure, and he's still on throttle, catching back up to Adam LZ. Adam LZ doing a great job filling out that third and final outer zone, waving to his fans. Give it up for Adam LZ and Connor O'Sullivan.
It just looked like that checkup from Adam LZ really drew Connor off, and because of the cars being so dialed in, he just
let's see. Watch
lost control.
What area are you talking about?
Right around here.
Well, that's something the judges are going to have to analyze the replay, but I'll tell you right now that was Connor O'Sullivan is turning out to be a force to be reckoned with, and I can only imagine as the season goes on, as he's going to work his way and just gain that experience and develop as a driver. He's got the aggressiveness, he's got the talent, and he's somebody to keep your eye on throughout the rest of the season.
So we have results, and Adam LZ is going to advance.
Adam LZ is going to advance on. Adam LZ did take out Connor O'Sullivan. Adam LZ takes the win. He's going to be going up against, let's see here,
either Mouse Flick or DIRK Stratton.
All right.
6x6 over here. Adam needs a tow. Take it.
All right. Adam LZ. Yeah. We may have some audio down on the track. We got the live stream camera on him.
Requesting a tow.
All right, we're going to cut into Adam LZ.
All right.
Oil pressure sensor. I think I'm fine. I'm going to drive it back. It's jumping to 0 and like 100 or something.
All right, and that's a little insight there. Adam LZ taking the victory over Connor O'Sullivan. What a great
Connor's day isn't done yet. He still has to battle.
Correct, right.
For third.
Yeah, Connor is not packing in yet. He's still going to have to battle the loser of the next battle, for third place position. The stands are packed. The pits, everybody in the pits are at the fence watching, rooting on their favorite driver, rooting on their teammates perhaps. As you can see, Miles Flick in the blue Ford Mustang and Dirk Stratton working his way battle after battle in that Lingenfelter Oracle Lighting Chevy Corvette with 666 horsepower. It's been a devil of a car working his way through the competitors one by one.
Unfortunately, you're probably not going to be able to see the Oracle Lighting.
Yes, unfortunately.
That was one of your favorites.
Yeah, one of my favorite features of Dirk Stratton's car is that Oracle lighting stick that's on the side of his car actually lights up at night. It's one of the coolest things to be able to watch a night event with Dirk Stratton. It's just nice and bright and just kind of lights up the track. But they are set, locked and loaded, ready to go. Miles Flick, Dirk Stratton's going to lead. Miles Flick is going to give chase, and we're about to send them. Here the engines revving, and away they go. Miles Flick trying to get the jump at the light. Whoa, a little ahead of Dirk Stratton, so he should be right on the door as they make their way through the first outer zone. Both drivers, Dirk Stratton high on the wall, inches away from that first outer zone. Miles right there with them, maintaining cool composure as they make their way through the inside track, flicking it back in. Miles right there with them. Dirk Stratton trying to pull away, running a nice wide line. There was a slight correction by Miles working their way through the second outer zone, but he's still right there with Dirk Stratton, both drivers. Flicking, whoa! What was going on? Miles Flick straightening out through the third outer zone. Oh no.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. And Miles made the mistake, unfortunately, of just applying too much angle for a significant amount of time. And remember, when that happens, you lose ground, and then that gives, in the chase position, that gives your lead competitor time to create a distance between you. And you don't want that. Judges want both drivers to be up close.
Correct. We do want to let everybody know that we are almost at the end of our event here. We did have to start early today due to inclement weather that's going to make its way through the area later on today. Unfortunately, not able to run this event in the rain, but here we go. Miles Flick taking off. Jerks. Whoa.
Oh, restart
light. Okay, there's a restart light.
Almost had some contact there on the brakes.
We did. I mean, they were really going for it. There was blood in the water, folks, and these guys are hungry for a victory. But as I mentioned, yeah, we did have to start earlier. We needed to complete this event before the rain passes through later on today. Unfortunately, we had to stop the event prematurely yesterday due to the weather. This track in the rain is not friendly to the drivers, especially the inside section of the concrete paddock area. All right, and I'm hearing it's clear to send. Both drivers getting locked and loaded. Dirk Stratton gonna chase, Miles Flick gonna lead. And they're off. So here we go. Dirk Stratton trying to stay side by side with Miles Flick as they go into the first outer zone. Boom! Right into the outer zone. Miles Flick a little lower on the bank than Dirk Stratton. Dirk Stratton right there with them as they make their way past that first inside clip. Both cars making their way. Whoa! A lot of angle from Miles Flick through that inside area of the track. Almost kind of threw off his line a little bit, but Dirk Stratton not being phased. Dirk Stratton able to stay there, right there with them, lunging forward as they make their way through the third and final outer zone. Give it up for Miles and Dirk. A little collision there at the end. Give it up for them, folks. Dirk still being aggressive, even though he's coming off the track. Miles.
But you could say Miles was even more aggressive because of when he went into the infield, he got in with so much speed that he kind of forgot that he had to transition and almost went way off track.
Yeah, I think he carried more angle deeper through that, past that second inside clip than I've seen, but definitely offline.
But Dirk Stratton doing a great job of realizing that and working his way through that error as they go ahead and make their way through the finish. Oh, no contact there, so we're good.
Mm-hmm. All right, waiting for the judge's decision. As you see on the right, Dirk Stratton in the Lingenfelter Oracle Lighting Corvette on the right, and Miles Flick pulling off in his blue Ford Mustang.
So whoever wins this battle is going to go up against Adam LZ, and the loser of this battle is going to go up against Connor O'Sullivan.
to go ahead and thank our sponsors, BC Racing, Nitrous Outlet, Grip Royal, ECU Master, Champion Race Oil, Haltech, Drift HQ, Tire Streets, Ignite Racing Fuel, Kensei Wheels, Fuel Lab, Which Works, and Radium Engineering. Those of you guys that are here, make sure you check out the snack bar. Make sure you stay hydrated. Once again, I want to thank everybody here joining us today live and on the live stream. It's been a weekend full of ups and downs with the rain and now the beautiful weather. Fortunately, able to complete this event. But we are almost done. You're about to see the final battles of the event. But this is just round one of a 5-part series called the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. We'll be back here again on June 24th through the 26th for round 2. Round 3 will be August 12th through August 14th. Round 4 will be October 21st through the 23rd. And round 5, which will be the finals, will be November 11th through November 13th. Will Alec Hunnadale, the returning champion, be able to work his way back up the points and take a second champion back-to-back? Or will Taylor Hole be able to reclaim a second championship belt, I guess you could say, or the crown, whatever you want to call it?
And these guys, they're competing for $120,000 in payouts. $120,000 payouts.
Wow,
I mean, come on.
That's insane. There's $20,000 that goes out per round, and Klutch Kickers has done a phenomenal job of being able to support these drivers. As we mentioned before, this is an event built by the drivers for the drivers.
So we're going to have official decision on the previous battle. DIRK Stratton is going to move on. So he's going to battle Adam LZ. Miles Flick in his Ford Mustang. He's going to battle Connor O'Sullivan in his BMW E46. So all 4 competitors, they're going away with money. Yep. First place, $10,000. Second place, $5,000. Third place, $3,500. Fourth place, $1,000. And fifth place, $500.
So definitely money at stake, which brings these drivers, these pro drivers and grassroots drivers out here to throw down battle after battle. We want to make sure that you guys stay tuned to the upcoming events also by checking out Cletus McFarland's website, seeing what's going on at the Freedom Factory. And if you're getting into drifting for the first time and you want to learn more and you want to get more into the scene, check out the drift events. Cletus McFarland has drift events here quite often, so you can always check it out. And there's several tracks around the area that you guys can come and experience drifting, whether it be a ride along or just following your favorite driver. So you guys want to make sure you also check out the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series for all your up-to-date information, and as well as our social media outlets. Follow Klutch Kickers on Instagram and Facebook. That's going to keep you informed on all the events. It's also going to give you some behind the scenes of what the Klutch Kickers crew goes through. If you want to see what the layouts are going to be, you can also go to the Klutch Kickers website and you can see how the layout's going to change each round. Each round's going to be a different layout. It's going to challenge the drivers to continually adapt and be able to make the changes to their car and be able to adapt as a driver to attack the different layouts.
Right, and round 2 is actually not going to utilize, from what I'm seeing here, not really going to utilize the bank. It's going to really primarily focus on the infield, but you've seen the problems the infield has caused to these drivers, not just the drivers, but the track personnel, to not only keep it dry, but also for the drivers having to deal with all of the grip changes. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second round.
Yeah, but one thing that we notice that's interesting is when you have a track like this and you're running the bank, the tandems aren't quite as close because there's a difference in horsepower. It gives the higher horsepower guys some room to run away. I mean, that's why it's so key for the chase driver to be able to utilize that jump start in order to close that gap.
Right.
But as we go to round 2, you notice it's going to be a lower speed layout. So that's going to give advantage to the lower horsepower guys. Now they're going to be able to stay in the pocket a little better. So it's going to be interesting to see how the tides change as we progress throughout the season through each different layout.
And you might actually see a different set of competitors actually come out to the second round, because some of them may not feel that they had a car or the skill level ready to tackle this round 1 layout. But with round 2, having a different layout, different requirements, you may see more lower horsepower vehicles enter into the competition.
You're absolutely right, and we see one driver that comes to mind that wasn't able to make it, and which is usually a fierce competitor and a force to be reckoned with, is Magic Mike Pollard. He was unable to make this event. So go on to the Klutch Kickers website, check out the lineup. There's a lot of drivers in this lineup, and there's drivers that are locked into championship season, but there are also drivers that could essentially enter just one round. And another driver that I was expecting to see in the championship was Randy Noah. Randy Noah, unfortunately, not able to make this round, but Randy Noah could show up in round 3 and take home the victory, basically upsetting the order when it comes to points. So you have these possibilities of a shakeup when it comes to new drivers coming in for just 1 or 2 events.
Right, and you have 2 sets of drivers. You have one set of drivers that are locked in for the season. They're going to be battling for championship points, championship prize money, and you have the other set that are just there for the round. So you could argue the ones that are just there for the round are just the wild cards for the people that are competing for the championship.
Right. So not only if a driver is locked into the championship battle throughout the season, do they have to worry about those that they're battling against during the championship, but they have to, like you said, worry about those wild cards that come in and could totally upset the point series. So it's a very dynamic series Klutch Kickers has provided, but the way they've been able to do it has proven to be successful, and obviously it is because we're here 3 seasons later.
Correct. And think about like all of the variables that the drivers have to face. They have to worry about their cars being properly set up. They have to worry about the track and the conditions that it throws at you. You have to worry about all these competitors. And so you realize that it's not so easy. And you realize also why there's so many things that occur that are unexpected.
Correct.
You think somebody's going to take away the win so easily, but if you look back in the season, every round was a different winner.
You're right. Absolutely right. And I just really suggest you guys, if you're new to the drifting scene or you're starting to watch it for the first time, just start doing some more research. Go on YouTube. Check out a lot of these drivers. A lot of these drivers, they're grassroots, and a lot of them are local to the area. So you can follow them, support them. Some of the drivers have different merchandise for sale that help develop their program. But we also want to go and tell you guys that if you want to purchase something from the vendors, now would probably be a good time to do it because we're almost winding down to the end here. So Klutch Kickers has got the merch downstairs, BC Racing, LZMFG, ECU Masters, Champion Racing Oils, Nitrous Outlet, Yankee Special, Kensei Wheels, Bridge Moto, Grip Royal, and Haltech. All these guys are downstairs. You guys check them out while you can before we get away. Finish off this this final here.
Any word on the Nitrous Outlet mascot?
I don't know. I think somebody put him in their car. I think he got hijacked. I think he got kidnapped, and unfortunately, somebody was using him today. I must be.
All right, so drivers right now are actually just getting ready, changing their tires, and this is standard procedure. This is what happens. That's why we're waiting. We're having this little bit of a break, this downtime. They want to get a fresh pair of tires and whatever tires are left. Oftentimes, they'll have a certain set of tires, and I think we've seen instances where a driver cannot compete, cannot move on because they've run out of tires.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, this may be the last time I get a chance to thank our sponsors, BC Racing, Nitrous Outlet, Grip Royal, ECU Masters, Champion Racing Oil, Haltech, Drift HQ, Tire Streets, Ignite Racing Fuel, Kensei Wheels, Fuel Lab, Dutchworks, and Radium Engineering. All right, and we're back. We want to thank you, everybody that's joining us on the live stream, and those of you that are here live. We are about to get into the final battles of the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series Season 3, Round 1 at the beautiful Freedom Factory in Bradenton, Florida. It's beautiful weather. We want to make sure everybody comes back to the stands because we're about to see the final battles take place. Up next, we have Connor O'Sully in his BMW E46 and Miles Flick in his blue Ford Mustang about ready to take the track. First up, Connor O'Sully is going to take the lead. Miles Flick will be given chase.
And this will be the battle for third.
This will be the battle for third, correct.
And immediately, Miles Flick is calling a 5-minute timeout. That was quick.
Wow. So, yeah, we're getting word that Miles Flick is calling a 5-minute timeout. Well, we're trying to get an official word. That was quick. I don't know. He maybe threw the car sideways and felt something off. Trying to warm up the tires. I don't know.
It's like, oh, get ready for battle. Oh, wait, hang on.
Yeah. Well, psych. While we get a chance, we're going to go ahead and give you a little insight behind the man, Connor O'Sully.
Hey, my name is Connor O'Sullivan. I drift with O'Sully Racing in the E46. I've been drifting for about a year and a half now, and I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. I have a BMW E46 with an LS 427. It's naturally aspirated and makes about 600 horsepower. We're going to leave the car how it is right now. We were just at OSW a couple weeks ago, so I think the track will be pretty similar, and we're just based off that. I think the car is going to be more competitive this year with a lot of these drivers, so I'm pretty excited for that. You guys can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Connor O'Sully.
All right, and there you have it. Go ahead and find that man on social media. Show him some love. Give him some support. As I mentioned before, this man's only been drifting for a little less than 2 years. And here he is competing against a pro like Adam LZ. I mean, wait.
Oh, yeah. Miles Flick.
Miles Flick, yeah. It's been a long day. I'm saying all kinds of wrong things here.
No worries. We're getting there. Home stretch.
Getting there. I'm getting excited. Yeah, we're waiting for Miles Flick called his 5-minute timeout, waiting for him to come back to the line.
Right, and this could be Connor O'Sully's first podium finish in the series.
Yeah.
As you recall back, he kept competing with his Nissan 240SX, had some struggles, but showed potential, showed promise.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're starting to see some of that promise come to fruition as he's battling for third place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But let's hope he can continue with his car, and it looks like it's working out well for him. But right now we're just waiting for, as you mentioned, Miles Flick to come back after calling his 5 minutes. And everyone's just waiting for him.
Mm-hmm. So far, beautiful weather. Everybody's here able to enjoy this drift action. Some of the best drivers from around the country and around the world coming here together at Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. I'm just waiting right now for Miles Flick to work his way back to the track, utilizing his 5-minute timeout. Must have felt something in the car trying to do a burnout, preparing for the battle. And going against a driver like Connor O'Sully, you want to make sure that car is 100% because you can't have a mechanical failure. You can't be in a position where a car is going to let you down. So the driver has to have utmost confidence in his vehicle in order to be able to just throw down the way these drivers have. They have to be able to give it 110%. And if your car is not running right, then by all means you need to take those few minutes and make sure, because there's nothing much after this. It's going to be all or nothing for these drivers.
Right, and it's a bit surprising to hear that somebody has a 5-minute to call, because there was been so many issues, mechanical problems throughout the whole weekend, that that's how I see it, as it being a surprise.
Correct.
But
right. So drivers are awarded one 5-minute timeout for the complete event. So when you see these drivers, they really have to use that 5-minute timeout sparingly. A lot of drivers, I've seen drivers utilize their 5-minute timeout in qualifying in the past, which I thought was odd.
Right.
Yeah, we have had drivers utilize that and come to regret it later on in the event.
One notable person, a fellow.
Fellow was Ambavero.
Right.
He came out to a Klutch Kickers event, and he called a 5-minute timeout during qualifying, and later on during the event could have really used that 5-minute timeout to get his car back on the track. So it's it's almost like a get-out-of-jail-free card, right? You got one of them, and that's all you can use. So Miles Flick able to hold that card until the end here, running what seems to be mostly stock Ford Mustang for the most part. I don't see too much done to it, but it's kind of hard to see. Connor O'Sullivan on the other chance definitely tricked out BMW E46.
Battle-tested, battle-worn.
Battle-tested, battle-worn, battle-proven.
Right.
Able to edge out victories over Brandon McDowell and many other drivers along his path. I mean, he hasn't had an easy path, Connor O'Sullivan. He's had to go against Brandon McDowell. He has had to go against George Thomas. He's had to go against, who else here? Not George Thomas, but no, Connor O'Sullivan had to go against Josiah Felize, Davey Peoples, and Josiah Lubier to work his way all the way up to this point. And his competitor, Miles, has had to go against Taylor Hole, Joa Baryon, Brandon Aquisto, and Michael Elsey. Michael Elsey was definitely an upset. Michael Elsey having his hood pop up. Unfortunately, giving Michael Elsey a 0 for his run. But I know Michael, he's been a consistent competitor in the Klutch Kickers Drift Series, so we'll see him back again for round 2, I'm sure.
So we're still waiting on Miles. It looks like he's about to pull up.
All right, let's see. Is that Passionate Pat Gooden over there across the track?
Yeah, that's Pat telling him, hurry it up.
Yep. I was like, get out here, buddy. We got to get this battle underway. And I want to thank everybody for sticking with us through this crazy weekend of weather and just enjoying the competition today. Unfortunately, we mentioned earlier, we did have to start very early this morning. These drivers did not have a chance to practice, and that's not typical. Typically, the drivers get a few hours of practice before competition. So an event like this, for these drivers not to have that pre-competition shakedown or practice before the event is very uncommon. But there is rainy weather coming through this afternoon, and we wanted to make sure we were able to provide and perform, finish out this event and be able to, decide who the victors are and give these guys a chance to battle under good weather. So the Klutch Kickers crew decided that we're going to go ahead and start finishing off the top 64 at 8 o'clock this morning and nonstop work their way through the competition, skipping the opening ceremony and just battle after battle after battle, bringing it to its end. As we see here, these drivers are going to go and face off. And this is the battle for fourth, I believe.
Correct.
So the winner of this battle will take home the 3rd place trophy and award, and the loser will take the 4th place and be able to take those points and carry them out throughout the season. So as you see, you got Connor O'Sullivan in the lead, Miles Flick giving chase, both drivers working their way down the straight. Connor O'Sullivan gapping Miles Flick down the straight. Connor O'Sullivan nice and deep into that first outside zone. Miles has got to catch up to Connor if he has hopes to take out Connor O'Sullivan. Miles still way back there. Connor O'Sullivan doing a rocket ship of a job, just making his way throughout the second outer zone, putting out that smoke, full commitment, great angle. Here he goes, flicking into the 3rd and final outer zone, deep, inches off those walls. Give it up for Connor O'Sullivan and Miles Flick as they make their first run of 2 in the finals of the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series.
Connor, though, still having issues with that first inner clip. It just continues to knock it out. But the main story, though, is just the way how the power difference. Connor O'Sully just rocket ship, like you mentioned, Tim, and Miles Flick just doing whatever he could to try to deal with it and just struggled throughout the whole way.
Yeah, unfortunately for Miles, that rocket ship Connor O'Sully is piloting is just relentless in that lead position, in the chase position. Now it's going to come down to another thing that we've seen for Connor O'Sully. Connor O'Sully very aggressive in the chase position, putting himself in some pretty sticky situations. So now he's got it. That's in the back of his head because it could turn around and haunt him as he's chasing down Miles Flick. Miles Flick definitely seems to be in the lesser horsepower, slower of the two cars. Miles Flick, an excellent driver, so I know his lead run should be on point. So Connor's just going to have to dial back that aggression in certain areas of the track, notably coming off the bank through the first outer zone. If he can maintain in the pocket past that first inside clip, he may be able to take home the victory. Okay, apparently there's a safety issue with Miles Flick's exhaust, so they're gonna check that really quick. And
actually, we have a decision. Decision waiting on the judges, and
all right,
Connor O'Sullivan
gets the win. Connor O'Sullivan gets the win. Okay. So due to the safety issue, Miles Flick's exhaust was hanging off, and he was, unfortunately, since he utilized his 5-minute timeout, he's not going to be able to make that repair. They cannot let Miles Flick go through the run and have a chance of that exhaust flying off. So unfortunately for Miles Flick, he did use his 5-minute timeout. He does not have that 5-minute timeout, as we had mentioned earlier. He only get one. Right. So unfortunately, that cost him the loss.
Yeah, and it looked like he utilized it to take off the bumper for whatever reason.
Right. So what an unfortunate turn of events for Miles Flick. Connor O'Sullivan taking home third place. Going to be able to take those points in that prize money. And we're about to line up the battle for first and second. Will it be Adam LZ in the blue Drift HQ E36, or will it be Dirk Stratton in that Lingenfelter Oracle Lighting Chevy Corvette? What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to be Adam LZ is going to take the win? I can't hear you. I'm in the booth. I need louder. Who do you guys think is going to win this? Is it going to be Adam LZ? Or is it going to be Dirk Stratton? Well, I think that was pretty even. One more time. Adam LZ. Dirk Stratton. Wow, this is evenly split. I mean, these drivers are amazing drivers. Both of them, both very aggressive in the lead and chase positions. And this is going to be one of the most exciting battles. And what better way to end the round one of the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series than to have an epic battle where you got the audience split both for half for Adam LZ and half for Dirk Stratton. BMW versus Chevy. Dirk Stratton's going to lead. Adam LZ is going to give chase. And we are all on the edge of our seats. I'm not even sitting anymore. I'm standing. I have to be able to see everything from the booth. My vantage point isn't the best, but I'm going to make sure my eyes are peeled. You guys want to stay focused. We know Adam LZ, he's in that chase position. He's going to be right there neck and neck, side by side with Dirk Stratton, as Dirk Stratton, we know, lays down a commanding lead run. So that's going to have, Adam's going to have confidence because he knows Dirk Stratton's going to be amazing in the lead. And here they go down the straight, almost side by side. Both cars throwing it into the first outer zone. Dirk almost right on the wall. Adam LZ right there with them, side by side. Give it up. Let them hear you, folks. They're coming off that bank. Adam LZ switching back and forth. Mirror image of Dirk Stratton. Adam LZ jumping back in that pocket. Dirk Stratton right on the outer edge of that track. Give it up for Adam LZ. Stay in that pocket, not being phased whatsoever, as Dirk Stratton putting on an amazing lead run. Give it up for Adam LZ and Dirk Stratton. Wow, that was, what a way to finish off this competition. This was an amazing battle. I'm I'm tingling all inside. This is so exciting.
Yeah, and there's still the other half to go, and I mean, already they're making it difficult for the judges to determine a winner.
Oh man, I wouldn't mind seeing this go one more time.
I don't blame you.
But here we go, guys. All right, make sure you guys root them on as they go down the straight. They can hear you, and they're excited. They're looking forward. They want you guys to give them total support. So shout out your favorite driver as they're going through. Just cheer them on. Adam LZ versus DIRK Stratton. Run 2 of the finals. Will there be one more time, or will we get a victor? We don't know yet, but here they go. Adam LZ, DIRK Stratton coming down the straight, side by side. Adam LZ pulling about a car length gap on DIRK Stratton as they make their way through the first outer zone. Adam LZ, DIRK Stratton trying to surge forward, close that gap. Wow. Oh, no! DIRK Stratton.
Adam LZ still needs to finish his
He's got to finish his run. Adam LZ still has to finish his run as he makes his way, but I don't think we're going to see an upset here. He's going to calm, cool, and collective. Look at him deep in that third outer zone. Give it up for Adam LZ! Oh, so unfortunate. DIRK Stratton trying to be aggressive. Woo! All right, well, we're not going to officially announce the winners. We're going to bring the drivers down to the track. But first, I need to make sure the judges analyze, and they're going to have to look at the runs and see where the drivers were throughout the track. And with us go one more time, do they have a winner? Please stay tuned. So I definitely have to say this probably was one of the most exciting battles of the event so far. Ben, do you have any other exciting points that stick out in your mind before we...
For this battle or the previous?
For the whole event. For the whole event. What would we probably say? What are your key takeaways?
I'm just thinking back to Chelsea DeNofa, Taylor Ray.
Chelsea DeNofa, Taylor Ray. That was an exciting battle. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. That was one of the best chases that we've seen, which we come to expect from Chelsea DeNofa. Chelsea DeNofa, one of the best drivers in the chase position. But as you see here in the replay, we see Adam LZ and DIRK Stratton going around the first outer zone. Adam LZ not quite as high on the bank as DIRK Stratton was in his lead run, but DIRK Stratton right there with him and just coming out of that bank. DIRK Stratton looks like he overcooks it. I don't know if there was contact there, but they were very close. And now you look, Adam LZ just showing his experience as he makes his way, the pro that he is, flicking into the second outer zone, doing a good job filling out the zones, getting nice angle throughout the transitions, which the judges love to see, and so do the spectators.
Right, and one key takeaway that I want to mention is that you see, with no practice today, and we went straight into competition, you saw some of these drivers getting progressively better as the day went on. So at the beginning, you may have seen a couple of mistakes, and now towards the end, you don't see any of those mistakes. They're dialing in, perfecting their runs, and you saw some of it in this battle.
Yeah, and it almost leads you to believe, like, what kind of competition would we have had these drivers had the opportunity to get that practice before, right? So these drivers, as they're competing, they have no practice. They had to go right into it and just battle it out right from the get-go, from 8 o'clock up until now. Had they had those hours of practice, what they typically get in order to dial in not just their car, but also themselves, to lock in their lines, as like you said, as these drivers went further along, you saw them improve and get faster, more angle, more aggression, and just more smoke and just more commitment. It makes it for a more exciting show.
Right, and I think they're also well aware of the weather conditions, and they did not want to have a repeat of what happened the previous 2 days. So I think they were working in conjunction with Klutch Kickers to try to get these runs as quickly as possible, because they want to utilize that grip from the dry track to be able to get the runs that they want.
Absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And on behalf of the Klutch Kickers crew and the Freedom Factory, we just want to thank everybody out here weathering the weather and just being here with us through thick and thin. And we hope that you guys, if you have never been to a Klutch Kickers event, have got a taste and it's making you hungry for more. If you guys want more information, check out clutchkickers.com, the website. They have all the different layouts. They have a full driver's list. If you want to compete, you can still compete. If you're out here and you're a driver and you think you could throw down with these guys, by all means, check out the Klutch Kickers website. You can find the requirements for the safety and the roll cage requirements, what's necessary in order to compete in the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. And we'd love to see more competitors out here because it's just going to make the field more diverse.
And if you're here in attendance, last call for merch and food.
Last call for merch and food. Last call for merch and food. So, guys, once again, thank you guys for just just hanging out here and just weathering this weather and the heat today and the rain yesterday. So it looks like the judges have made a call, so they're going to pull the drivers down to the main paddock here so we can make an announcement. So here we go. We got the drivers coming down. We're going to go ahead and we're going to announce the winners. And we just want, like I said, once again, thank everybody for joining here. You guys have got to see some world-class drivers and some of the best battles that you're going to see, whether pro-am, or just at a fun day. These drivers have put it all on the line to not just compete against each other, but also to entertain. You guys have followed some of these drivers throughout their career, and if you're new and these are some of the first times you're seeing these drivers, I want you to go ahead and check them out on their social media pages and go ahead and follow them. Support these drivers. These drivers need people like us, need the fans in order to progress and develop their program. So whatever you guys can do, offer support, whether it be purchasing their merchandise or just following on the social media. All these drivers have a wealth of information. If you want to get into drifting and you see them, feel free to always come up to them and talk to them, because these drivers, they just love to pour into the community. So once again, I want to thank the Klutch Kickers crew for providing this the third season of the $100,000 Drift Series. And I can't forget to mention Cletus and his crew. Cletus, a hard-working man, cutting the grass, cleaning the track, competing. Man of many talents. Just waiting for everybody to get set up down there so we can go ahead and start giving out the rewards. So what do you guys think? Have you guys enjoyed the battles today? Enjoyed the battles? I enjoyed the battles too. I was right there with you guys, and this is just amazing. If you're a new spectator to drifting, or if you're a driver, it was just a tremendous show. We really want to thank all the drivers, even the drivers that aren't down on the field right now, all the drivers that are in the pits. You guys did a tremendous job, and just the ability to be able to adapt, overcome the wet weather and all the different circumstances. It's been a pleasure for me and myself and my co-host here, Captain Ben, as well as the rest of the crew, to be able to announce and just be a part of this epic event. All right, once again, we're about ready to make these announcements. Just make sure everything's set. We want to make sure the live stream are able to catch all the details and be able to see the winners as we announce 5th through 1st. All right, we're going to go ahead and start off with our 5th place finisher, the Comp Cams Corvette, Mr. Taylor Hole. Give it up for Taylor Hole, taking home 5th place. Battered and bruised, but he made it all the way to 5th place. We want to congratulate him and his team in that Comp Cams Chevy Corvette. We're going to work our way to the 4th place winner. Fourth place winner is Mr. Miles Flick in the blue Ford Mustang. Miles Flick taking home fourth place and $1,000. Miles Flick. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and announce our third place winner. Our third place winner has proven himself to be a force to be reckoned with. And as the years progress, we're going to see him grow as a driver and fight more fierce battles. But our third place winner today, the status E46, Connor O'Sully. Connor O'Sully, give it up for Connor O'Sully, one of the great driver out here today, showing that he's got what it takes to be at the top. Taking home $3,500 thanks to Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. You see him down there with Michael Castleberry and his crew. Okay, next up, I'm going to announce the first place winner. The first place winner, he's going to take home, I believe, $10,000 today. And he's battled his way all through this event, battle after battle. Our first place winner in the Drift HQ E36 is Adam LZ. Adam LZ, give it up for Adam LZ. Our second place winner in Oracle Lighting, Lingenfelter Chevy Corvette is DIRK Stratton. Both excellent drivers fighting their way neck and neck all the way through the competition. Give it up for all 5 of these drivers and all the drivers that didn't even make it up to this point. They all did a great job battling it out and fighting the weather, going through technical difficulties. And also, we want to thank all of you that are in attendance here. Please check out clutchkickers.com. Stay tuned for more interviews and more drivers as they just continue to develop this series throughout the year. But I think for the live stream, we're going to go ahead and, oh yeah, I do want to remind you guys, round 2 is going to be June 24th through the 26th. Round 3 is going to be August 12th through the 14th. Round 4 is October 21st to the 23rd, and the finals, round 5 of the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series, Season 3, will be on November 11th and the 13th here at the Freedom Factory. And you guys are going to you don't want to stay tuned. You're going to want to make sure as they spray, look at that, spray themselves with, go ahead, get all sticking. That's what you earned. You earned it. We also want to thank our sponsors real quick: BC Racing, Nitrous Outlet, Grip Royal, ECU Masters, Champion Racing Oil, Haltech, Drift HQ, Tire Streets, Ignite Racing, Fuel, Kensei Wheels, Fuel Lab, Dutchworks, Radium Engineering. Also want to thank our vendors: Klutch Kickers, Bridge Moto, BC Racing, LCMFG, ECU Masters, Champion Racing Oils, Nitrous Outlet, Yankee Special, Kensei Wheels, Grip Royal, Haltech, Tire Streets, and of course Cletus McFarland and his crew at the Freedom Factory. And now I believe for the live stream, we're going to go ahead and cut down and get some driver interviews with Cletus McFarland himself.
All right. Let me know if we're live. Oh, we're live. All right. I'm going to let them take some pictures, but first of all, I wanted to thank everyone on the live stream, everyone here at the Freedom Factory. Thank you, guys. And also want to give a shout-out to my Freedom Factory crew. They cleaned up a bunch of rainouts, and it was a fun weekend, though. You know, the guys at Klutch Kickers killed it. This is our first ever event with Klutch Kickers, round 1 of 5, obviously. And their whole team did an amazing job. So really proud to be working with the Klutch Kickers. And we got a long year ahead of us, so, you know, come on out. Come on out, watch it in person or watch it on baldeagle.com. But I think we should talk to our boy Adam LZ here because he's got a big W on his hands, holding that $10,000 check. How do you feel, Adam?
I feel good. You know some of the issues we had today, and I'm just happy the cars stayed together and we made it this far at all.
Yeah, I know. So after your first run of the day, one of the guys from the track comes running up holding Adam's belt. And I saw him and his crew slap it back on, and then they came back off, and the belt actually flipped itself. So lots of problems today for the E36, but Drift HQ coming through, man. What's your plan for next event?
Come back, make the belt not come off, and do the same thing again.
All right, man. Well done. Let's hear it for Adam LZ one more time. Come on. Good job, buddy. DIRK, how you feeling, man?
Great, man. It's been party time here at the Freedom Factory. We've been letting the bald eagles fly with the Lingenfelter 454 Corvette, man.
I know, man. I was so happy to see you were coming. I've battled with DIRK a couple times. Lost every time, so, you know. But amazing driver. Car sounds good, man. And you came out here, did your thing, man. Went all the way to the finals. Really happy for you guys. Going home with some money, too. And you'll be back for round 2?
Absolutely, I will. We're here to do the same thing. Qualify number 1 and win.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you, DIRK. Let's move over to our boy Taylor here.
Tough break, brother. DB did a tire and ended up out of competition. But let's talk about some other struggles today. Got in an accident. How'd you get it fixed so fast?
Man, a great team. You know, between my wife running interference, James, the Parnell team came over and helped us. Nate's team came over and offered to help us. So, you know, it's just testament to the great camaraderie we got around in this community. I mean, he drove over me. He said he drove over me, and then he came over and, you know, wanted to help fix the car. So, you know, we all are pushing really hard here. We're all here to win. But when we stop driving, it's time to help each other. So, probably the most underwhelming 5th place finish I'll ever have. I really wanted to, you know, be up here battling with DIRK or Adam, but big fun here. Thanks for hosting. You do a great job.
Hey, thank you, man. And this is actually Taylor and I's first time hanging out. He's helping me in qualifying and stuff. So thank you a lot just for that. You know, I appreciate any advice. I'm just learning, and great guy here.
You'll be up here next time.
Good Corvette mechanic. I hope so, man. And Connor, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good, feeling good. The car took a little beating. We got a lot of bumpers falling off, but it was a good time. It's full send.
Dude, your car is so fast, and you don't have that much tire.
We're on 265s.
265s. How are you making that work so good?
Got a lot of tow. Car's gripped up.
Dude, you were making it happen out there, man. So, well done. Get the car fixed. We'll see you around 2. For sure. All right, brother. Thanks. We got one more down here. Miles Flick, man. How you feeling, dude? 4th place.
Yeah, the car was super good all day and dropped my exhaust off the car. So,
yeah, it happens, man. Believe me, I know. So, just we were worried something might have flown off. So, you know, that's how it goes.
Completely understand. I didn't want anything to fly into his car and cause a big accident. So I completely get it, and I'll take 4th though. That's a good.
Yeah, before we go though, I did see you go in the grass a little bit.
Send me a bill.
Yeah. So I need to take that check with me. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, huge shout out to all these drivers, guys. This is a dream for us at the Freedom Factory. You know, just to see another event come in here and do such a good job, and we're just excited to grow it and see the track prosper and in a little bit more of a way than just what we can do ourselves. So, really excited to be working with the Klutch Kickers, and shout out to my Freedom Factory crew and the Klutch Kickers crew. That's it. Thanks for watching Do It For Dale. We'll freaking see you later.
Well, there you have it. Cletus going along, interviewing all the drivers, doing a great job. All the drivers doing a tremendous job, battling their way through the field. Unfortunately, hurting some of Cletus's grass, but I'm sure it'll grow back. So, Ben, I want to thank you for joining me today. I want to thank everybody that watched us live and came here and was just able to enjoy an amazing show that is the Klutch Kickers $100,000 Drift Series. And by behalf of myself and the Klutch Kickers crew and the Freedom Factory as well, I want to go ahead and say see you next time. Take care.